Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexi out here, and it is Wednesday, and we are having a game, our fifth preseason game of the preseason 2025 NBA, and it's against the Celtics again. And this time, the Raptors are in Boston this time to play a away game against the Celtics. And, hopefully we have a broadcast crew there to call the game for the Raptors up here in Canada. Well, we'll have to see tonight who's actually going to call the game. Are we going to have to listen to Brian Scalabrine or some bullshit? Let's get into the latest lineup news and the ref report and check in and see what's going on for tonight. That's right. Let's go. All right. First of all, let's go look at our guys real quick. Shamshay is still listed day to day on here. It's a hand injury, but who knows? Right now, the injury lists are not updated very regularly. So, really, the best time to find out about injuries right now is around noon to like 4 or 5. And that's usually from the beat reporters like Lewinberg and Grange and Doug Smith that you're going to get the best news. Like in the morning during the season, I can tell who's probably going to play or not. But right now, it's just too fluid. And with a 21-man roster, the Raptors are going to be make decisions on who's going to be available. And it may be that somebody is mostly healthy and could play, but they're not playing because they need to just let other people play, or they have a nagging injury that's small they could play with, but they're not because it's preseason and it's not as important for them to play. So with any of the starters, this is all the case. You know, we got to see 3 out of the 5 starters on Sunday, and that was fantastic. So who knows? Maybe we get Brandon back, but we don't get RJ tonight or IQ or something like that. AJ Lawson's been sick this week, and we'll have to see if he's feeling better and he'd be able to play tonight. He missed the Washington game. Ingram was out for rest on Sunday, so it's very likely Ingram will play tonight. And the Celtics have been playing their real team. They played their real team in their last preseason game. Of course, on Friday, we did not see Jaylen Brown, a couple of the other main Celtics that are important. But they did play them against the Cavs a couple nights ago. And they routed the Cavs B team. The Cavs did not have any of their starters. And the Celtics routed the Cavs in a game between our game and theirs. Our game against them and now this one. So they also beat the Memphis Grizzlies. So they're 2-1 in their preseason, the Boston Celtics. But they've beaten 2 teams that have not had any of their starters. And then they played us, and we didn't really play our whole lineup against them either. But we still managed to beat them by 2. Colin Murray Boyles is listed on the injury list for his elbow still. But who knows? He's day-to-day, and that was on Sunday, the last report. So it's been a few days. Maybe Colin is in a better place where he can get out there and play. Jakob Poeltl is also listed on the injury list with the back injury, sore back and illness. And not only that, we got to say happy birthday to Jak. Today is his 30th birthday, guys. It's also my dad's birthday. And I just want to say happy birthday to my father. So happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday, Jakob. And happy birthday, Martin. Happy birthday, Martin, from Kensington Variety VIP Club. If y'all know Martin from Kensington Variety VIP Club, the little goofy show I did in the Kensington Market here in Toronto, my co-host, Martin. Well, it's his birthday too. So it's like, this is a really important date for me because it's my dad's birthday, it's Jakob's birthday, and it's my good friend Martin's birthday. So it's like a trio, a trifecta of awesome birthdays today. So yeah, it's Jak's birthday, guys. He's 30 today. So on the Celtics side, they've got 2 listed. Of course, Jason Tatum is out. They're not totally sure if Jason will be available this season, but he's saying he's going to try and come back for this season at some point. Well, whatever. I bet you if the Celtics are bottom dwellers this season, I'll bet you they won't rush Jason Tatum back at the end of the season. I'll bet you money. Jordan Walsh is also listed on the injury list for a groin injury. So we'll have to see how that goes down. So who's the lineup for the Celtics? Well, the Derek White, Anthony Simons, Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, and Nemes Keita. But they have been starting Chris Boucher at center. They did against the Cavs the other day. Of course, the Cavs did not have Mobley and Allen, but Chris played center for them, and Sam Hauser was the power forward, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, they're going to run small lineups out there, and they're going to try and do Celtics ball from the last few years, where it's a lot of threes, a lot of passing it around, and trying to beat the defense by just being ahead of them with the passes. So that's what we should expect again tonight. And once again, I'll say this, Raptors, you have the size advantage against the Celtics. Take it to the hoop and get inside, Scotty Barnes. That's what I'm saying right there. So, yeah, not totally sure about the exact injury report right before the game. We should expect the Raptors to kind of just let us know the starting lineup and who is not available within an hour or so before the game. So, yeah, pay attention to that later. Let's do the refs real quick, guys. We got a decent ref crew today. These are all pretty middle-of-the-road refs for the Raptors. Tonight, our crew chief will be Zach Zarba. Zach Zarba is number 15 in the referee crew. 23 seasons out of New York. And the Yankees lose. My favorite TV show, his favorite TV show is The Wire. He likes the movie The Godfather. Hey, speaking of the Yankees lose, this is for you, Zach Zarba. We got to make the little switch because the Jays are playing in Seattle tonight. That's right. I think that this is a ritual I need to do to help them win because I didn't do it the two first games against Seattle. So maybe this will help them win game 3. He also likes to eat shrimp oranganada. His favorite app is Twitter. Really, Zach Zarba? He most like to visit Italy, and his hidden talent is cooking. I would think that you've been to Italy, Zach Zarba. Like, you just look like a dude that's been to Italy. Like, how the hell you not been to Italy? You got that Pat Riley shine, Armani shine. Have you not been to Italy, bro? I don't believe you. Zach Zarba has officiated 1,370 regular season games in 22 seasons as an NBA staff official. He has also refereed 173 playoff games, including 16 finals games. Other assignments have included the 2016 All-Star Game in Toronto and the 2025 Paris Games. Yeah. So Zach Zarba was one of our refs for our All-Star Game. Yeah. Zach is interesting. He's the middle ref today. I'm calling him the middle ref. He's the most in the middle. We win 51% of our games, which isn't bad. Because that's above winning, right? We win more with Zach Zarba than we lose. So 51%, and the Celtics win 59%. So the split is towards the Celtics. The Celtics actually have the second highest percentage of winning with Zach Zarba out of all the NBA teams. So he does favor the Celtics, but it's more even. 51-59 is the split with Zach Zarba. The middle ref is Nate Green. Nate Green. 7th season out of Des Moines, Iowa, number 41. His favorite TV show is The Wire also. Maybe these guys should be like hanging out before the game, binge watching The Wire, Zach Zarba and Nate Green. Yeah, they could talk about The Wire. What a fantastic show The Wire is. It's one of the greatest TV shows ever, right? Right? Well, these guys are big fans of it. He also likes the movie Coming to America. He listens to Selena Johnson. His favorite book is Lone Survivor. He likes an Italian meal also. He's going to get shrimp oranganada, but I'd like some tagliatelle bolognese, Nate Green says, when they go to the Italian restaurant. That's not in Italy, Zach Zarba. His favorite app is Netflix, and he'd most like to visit Africa. Well, I would say this, Nate Green. If you want to go to Africa, we have a program we're starting with the NBA refs where you can go and referee Basketball Africa League over there and train some of the referees in Africa at BAL. So go on, Nate Green, in the summer. Call up Masai Ujiri. He could hook you up and get you some training shifts over there, training the refs from an NBA ref to them. I mean, that's a good idea, right? All these guys that want to go to Africa that are NBA refs, y'all need to go help out Masai in Basketball Africa League, is what I'm saying. Nate Green has officiated 222 regular season games in 6 seasons as an NBA staff official. Nate Green is the worst ref for us today. Now, he has the highest winning percentage for the Raptors. We win 53% of our games, but his percentage with the Celtics is astronomical. In fact, they are the winningest team in Nate Green out of all the 30 teams. They are the winningest team. They win 74% of their games when Nate Green is around. I think they're like 14-5 or something like that with Nate Green in his career. So the split is 53-74 for the Celtics. But Nate Green's heavily for the Celtics. Heavily for the Celtics. The third ref is Nick Nurse's favorite ref, Evan Scott, number 78 from South Korea. His seventh season now refereeing Evan Scott. He likes the show Sports Center. His favorite movie is Inception. This is part of the reason why his favorite, the favorite ref of Nick Nurse is Evan, is because his favorite musician is Prince. That's right. Nick Nurse and Evan Scott love Prince. That's right. His favorite book is Stalin for Time. He'd like to eat some steak and asparagus. So you're going to go to that restaurant with Zach and Nate, and you're going to order the steak. You don't get an Italian dish like them? You're at an Italian restaurant. No, man, just get me a steak and asparagus, please. Medium rare, please. All right, Evan Scott, we got you. Favorite app is FaceTime, and he'd most like to visit the Amalfi Coast. Okay, Evan Scott has officiated 244 regular season games in 6 seasons as an NBA staff official. Yeah, Evan Scott's our friend today, guys. He is the good ref out of the 3 refs. Nate Green is more heavily favoring the Celtics. Zach Zarba is pretty much the middle. And, well, Evan Scott is our guy. We win 50% of our games. That's the worst percentage. The other 2 refs have higher percentages. But Nate Green has a losing percentage with the Celtics. Evan Scott has a losing percentage with the Celtics, which is awesome. They only win 41% of their games with Evan Scott available, which is interesting because he's only ref the last 6 years. So Boston Celtics win 41% of their games with Prince lover Evan Scott. Raptors win 50% of the time. So 50-41 is the split. Evan Scott's favoring the Raptors, y'all. That's right. That's our guy, Evan. That's right. Purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, there's your ref report today. It's pretty even. These guys are very even and run-of-the-mill guys. None of them are super bad to the Raptors. None of them are super good to the Raptors. They're just in the middle. They're just in the middle. Stuck in the middle with us. Yeah. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the chat this morning. Trevor J, of course, is in first. Commissioner of Fun. Trevor J, good morning, sir. Good to see you. Never regret the love of kindness you give. Even if it's not returned the way you hope, it's never wasted. What you put into this world always finds its way back. Imagine finds its way back, maybe through a new person. It's beautiful. A beautiful opportunity or a moment that reminds you why you never stopped believing in good hearts. Love has its own timing, and when it finally comes back around, you will understand why it happens this way. Wow. Yeah. What is that song? The love that you'll find is the love you'll never find because the love that's never can be found. No, I think that it's true. Like, you put out energy in the world, energy is coming around, and hopefully you're putting out a lot of loving energy, and you will get that loving energy back somehow, some way in the future or coming up or something like that. I like this. This is a very optimistic words of wisdom, is that, keep doing that. And, eventually something will happen. Watch, something will happen. I appreciate you, Trevor J. I really do. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Let's see. Happy game day and beat the Celtics. Let's go. That's right. I want to see this. The Celtics are, they probably got not happy that they lost us. Joe Mazzulla is a competitor, and losing to the Raptors on a last-second shot last Friday is not something he liked. I would guess this. Last week, we didn't see the full Celtics. We saw them without Jaylen Brown and a few other players. I could speculate they'll probably play them tonight. So we may very well see Jaylen Brown against the Raptors tonight. Darko will be happy about that because if we have Colin Murray-Boyles available, he can play him on Jaylen Brown. And he said this in the press conference last Friday, that he was disappointed Jaylen Brown didn't play last week because he wanted to match up the young rookie Colin Murray-Boyles on him and give him a defensive test that's different than Nikola Jokic or a big. You want to say, hey, Colin, you want to go try and guard Jaylen Brown? Let's see how you do with that kind of offensive player in your defense. So we'll have to see who shows up tonight on either side. And once again, guys, this is preseason. If they don't play their starters, well, that's Darko's decision because he needs to see Roddy and Roden more. And that's perfectly fine. In some ways, yeah, we like having a 3-1 record in preseason. Sure, we'd like to win the next two and be a 5-1 record going into the season on our preseason. But you know what? That record don't matter shit. It don't matter if we end up 5-1. So whatever happens tonight, we just want to see the guys play right. And hell, if we get a third game winner in a row, hey, I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about that at all. I'm not upset about that. Isaac Campbell's here. He's saying win by 40, Scotty. Get out there and win by 40, Scotty Barnes. Yeah. Yeah. People have been talking trash and saying stupid shit. So lead your team to win by 40. And you know what? Score 10 points. I don't care. But win by 40. And Raptors fans will be all in their feelings still about how Scotty only scored 10, but we won by 40. I don't know. I mean, if that's the outcome today, I'll be like, yeah, I told y'all so on the preview. No, we're not going to beat them by 40, Isaac. I don't think that's likely. Joe Mazzulla is an ultra competitive person, and he would be like very upset if his team got routed by the Raptors in preseason by 40. I think he'd be very upset. He wants that margin to be close. That's right. James is saying, is Ingram playing today? We're not totally sure. I mean, like I said, James, in the injury report, he was rested on Sunday. It's not an injury. He's not hurt or anything. So he doesn't need to rest more than 2 games in a row or 1 game in a row, right? So it's logically we could think, yeah, Brandon Ingram's playing tonight. Logically, we could think, yeah, Brandon's playing. He just took a rest game. And that rest game was on Sunday. And it was an afternoon game to boot against the Wizards. And it was like, yeah, I can see why they rested Brandon Ingram against the Wizards on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah. But yeah, he's probably playing tonight. I will say that, James. My educated guess is Brandon Ingram will suit up for the Raptors and play tonight. Yeah. He's saying, I would like to see Chucky play 20-plus minutes. Last game, he only played around 11. You know, that was not a problem. I think that it was amazing he only played 11 minutes because it felt like he played 20 minutes in the game against Washington on Sunday. He had an impact like he played 20 minutes, but he didn't have the time. That's optimal, man. That's really good. In some ways, it's like, no, man, I would say play him 10 minutes, play him 12 minutes. If he can get the output that he did on Wednesday, on Washington, that's fantastic. That's all we need. So I see what you're saying. And it's likely he could play 20 minutes tonight because it is preseason. The opportunities are there more now. And it's more likely he's going to be playing 10-minute stints in the regular season. So we'll just have to see. But he did fantastic. And once again, it's not about volume of time. It's about efficiency in that time. And if we got Chucky for 11 minutes and he's just super efficient, I'll take that over Chucky for 20 minutes. And he gets the same stat line. Because there's 9 minutes that we're not adding as much. So I'm just saying, yeah, I want to see him play more. That's definitely true. But I don't know how many minutes he needs to play. If he's efficient like he was on Sunday, he doesn't need to play 20 minutes. That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing there. Yeah, let's see. Trevor's saying this. Chucky's being a difference maker. Yeah. Yeah, he's a very nice piece. He really is. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, guys coming from college. And this is a really good example. And I was dead right about this one. I was exactly right. Guys that come from college may look really good in college, but you have to look for specific things about them that will translate to the NBA. And Chucky Hepburn, as the defensive player of the ACC last year, had some skills that Bobby Webster and his scouting department, Masai before, tabbed and said, you know what, this guy could actually probably translate in this way and this way to the next level. And he's probably a really good bet because that's the thing. It's not about being the best college player. It's not about being one of the top scorers in the NCAA to be a good NBA player. You have to figure out the specific job skills that NBA teams need that gets you in this league. That's why guys that were nobodies in college become good NBA players. Guys like Dennis Rodman. And then guys that were touted to be awesome and crazy in college, and they just don't do nothing in the NBA. Jordan Hood Shafino. Yeah. I brought that name up, and there's a reason why, because this man's almost already cut from the league. And when did he get drafted? Jordan Hood Schifino got drafted like not even a year or so ago, right? He's already almost out of the league. And when I scouted him that draft, I said, this guy's not going to be an NBA player. And I was right. I saw the skills in the college, but I was like, none of this shit translates. And if he's going to make it the NBA, a team's going to have to really baby him and take time as a project to get him to the right place. Nobody wants to take that time in the NBA at this point. And that man's finding the door very quickly out of the NBA, even though he's a very talented college player and he looks so damn good in college. He's not an NBA player. And everybody said, Jordan Hood Schifino. Nope. Go see the stunted growth on him that just came out in the last 2 days. Stunted growth, fantastic YouTube channel that chronicles players and why they didn't get to their ultimate best. And I'm just saying, Chucky Hepburn didn't get drafted, but he's more of an NBA player than Jordan Hood Schifino. And that's what you guys say is like, look, how does this person translate? Does this person have real skills that actually will be usable or happen on the NBA level? They could have good skills in college, but the talent's better. And those skills are nulled and void. You can't do them in the NBA level because they're stronger and they're faster and they're smarter. And you could get away with doing that against shorter guys in the college and lesser talented teams, but not in the NBA. And all those skills that you showed off in college don't mean jack shit here. Another good example is Jonathan Mobo. Jonathan Mobo didn't play at a big Division I school. Jonathan Mobo played against people from San Francisco on his team. San Francisco, he played in a smaller division. Now, everybody could say, oh, he's from a Division II or something like that. He's not going to be very good in the NBA. But that's the thing. He has skills in his body and the way he does things that is good for the NBA, even though he comes from nowhere, the San Francisco Dons. So that's what I'm saying. You can't just scout everybody and say, oh, this is the top of the field, Cooper Flagg, Duke. Yeah, sure. Cooper's probably going to be good. But you can't just go from exposure. You can't just go from college success. You can't just go from, I was this and this at this school and I'm a badass. You got to understand whether it translates or not. Jordan Hood did not. Jordan Hood Schifino did not. But Chucky Hepburn's translating really, really well, very fast. And that's an interesting concept to think about when you're looking for people in your draft and scouting. Is like, just because this is fucking Kamal Malawak from Duke doesn't mean that man's going to be an NBA player. I'm saying this right now. We don't know if Malawak will actually not bust. He could bust very much. He could bust in the next couple of years for the Phoenix Suns. So remember this, that sometimes the hype and talking people up and the spotlight doesn't mean these motherfuckers are going to be good NBA players. It doesn't mean that. Ed O'Bannon. That's right. Boo, Ed O'Bannon. Why'd you boo Ed O'Bannon? We got the Rookie of the Year, Damon Stoudemire. That's what I say right there. Yeah, that's what I say right there. That's right. All right, let's see. This is an interesting question. James is saying, Lex, do you have a player comparison for Chucky Hepburn? This is a good one. Let me really think about this. Obviously, it's the steals is really his signature thing. You got to think of a tough bull-nosed kind of guy, but he shoots threes also. So, in some ways, this is weird. He's got a lot of parallels to Fred. In some ways, he has parallels to Fred because in some ways, he's not a good guy going into the basket totally. I don't know. He does show if he gets an open lane, he can get there and get laid up. But he's very good at hitting open threes. And the other thing about it is he's got strong hands on steals. And that's totally Fred. Freddie. So I would say, yeah, there's some comparison to Fred VanVleet in some ways with Chucky Hepburn. They're not totally, they're both undrafteds. And in some ways, their best skills are similar as far as steals and threes. So I don't know. I don't know if Chucky will ever be the floor general that Fred was as far as point guard and leading and all the stuff that Freddie developed into. But in some ways, he's early Fred right now. Right now, he's very early Fred. Now, he's taller than Fred, too. So, balance that out. I would say Fred, just because of the strong hand stealing and the three-point dead eye when it's open. And that's what I say. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex and Rat Freak Crew. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday morning. Let's go beat the Celtics tonight. That's right, Raptors. And Jays, go get the Mariners. Beat the Mariners tonight. Don't mess around. You need a win really bad, Toronto Blue Jays. Really, really bad. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam. Happy game day. Good morning to you, MJ. Hope you're doing fantastic. Trevor's saying Shaquille O'Neal sent a message to Jason Tatum not to rush back and take his time so that he gets seriously injured. Yeah, learn something from Joel Embiid. Learn something from other people that have rushed back and stuff like that. If this season's a wash already, then why are you trying to rush back? What are you rushing back for? To miss the play-in? To miss the playoffs? What are you rushing back for, Jason Tatum? And I know Celtics fans are saying, oh, no, we're not trying to lose this year. You guys know you're trying to lose. Don't give me this crap. Stop gaslighting everybody and say, no, the Celtics are going to try and win. You guys are not going to be above us at the end of the year in the standings. The Raptors will be higher than the Celtics in the Atlantic Division, and it's purely from paper. I'm going from paper. If we are fully healthy and we have hardly any injuries this year, our paper talent beats y'all's paper talent in Boston this year, and we will be higher than y'all in the Eastern Conference standings. We will be higher than y'all in the Atlantic Division. And we, as ESPN has predicted, we're going to be a top 5 seed in the playoffs this year with their prediction simulation. Now, why would your simulation do this? And then ESPN, you'd circle around and say, we're going to cover 14 contenders for the NBA title. And the Raptors aren't even one of those 14. Come on now. Y'all need to wake up. You can wake up when you see the reality as it happens, or do you want to be smart and be a prognosticator and make the predictions now so you look good better, like Jeff Teague? Yeah, you want to do that, or do you want to look bad later? Oh, you never said that before. Oh, no, I'm surprised the Raptors are doing so well this year. How did this happen? I've heard this story before. It happened when we had DeMar and Kyle, too. They said, I didn't realize the Raptors would be so good this year. Yeah, it's because you automatically downgrade us, and you always think we're a bad team just because that's your default. And it's not fair. And then we start kicking ass and we win. We go to the playoffs and we do big things. And y'all are like, well, where did they come from? You idiots. Yeah, you'll find out again this year. This is one of those years. Seriously. This is one of those years where no, the Raptors aren't going to be a bad team. They're not going to be a losing team. They're going to win. And everybody's going to be like, where the hell did the Raptors come from? Brandon Ingram, dumbasses. Like, pay the fuck attention. We've got Brandon Ingram on our team and he's healthy. And he's a really good player. So, yeah, why couldn't you figure this out, ESPN? It's just like I said. You could look at a piece of paper and see, wow, the Raptors roster is actually really good. I still want to say they're confusing and they're going to suck. It's their damn fault. They're not good at their jobs, obviously. They're not good at their jobs. Cass saying happy birthday to Papa Otts. Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice to spend a lot of time with my dad this year. Of course, we did our big birthday celebration earlier this year in May. We went to a Neil Young concert. And it was just awesome, man. My dad had never seen Neil Young ever in his life. And he's been one of his favorite artists in music a long, long time. And he had no idea I was taking him to a Neil Young concert out on a farm in rural Ontario, a small concert, not in a Scotiabank Arena, not at Massey Hall, not anywhere like that. It was outside at a farm. And it was a very special, small concert. And it was really special, man. You know, my dad's the same age as Neil Young. And Neil Young has a son that's about the same age as me. And, you know, there's a lot of parallels there. And I swore for a second at that concert in May this year that Neil Young was singing directly to my dad and I sitting in the crowd. It's just special, man. I love you, Dad. Happy birthday. And yeah, he's 80 today, guys. My dad's 80 today. So yeah, it's a big birthday. I wish I could see him today, but I did get to spend time with him just a couple weeks ago when they were still here. So yeah, we got to do the birthday with them. But yeah, I love my dad so much. And yeah, it's really nice to be able to say happy birthday today. Yeah. Let's keep going. Seymour's here. Good to see the sheriff, Seymour Pape, holding it down out in Alberta for us, man. He's saying this morning. Oh, wait, that's not Seymour. Seymour's saying Rockets put out a crazy starting lineup. Kevin Durant, Jabari, Amin, Sengun, and Adams. Whoa, that's big, man. This is like big ball. If there's small ball, there's big ball. Who was playing what position? I'm going to try and figure this out. So they had 3 centers out there. So Amin was the point guard. Amin Thompson played point guard. KD was the 2. Holy crap. They played Kevin Durant at the 2. And I think Sengun slots in at the 3 with this lineup. And then Jabari's 4 and Adams is the 5. Wow, that's like a 3-center lineup because Jabari Smith Jr. can play center. And Kevin Durant, man, he's like 7'2". Also, 7 foot also. He's not 7'2". He's 7 foot also. So that is a super tall lineup. It's probably slow as fuck though. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of remedy for that lineup. But that's interesting. Is this them trying to be the trendsetters? Let's play three centers and Amon Thompson at point guard. That's a big lineup. Wow. Wow. Beefing up indeed, man. Beefing up. Let's see. All right. And Smooth's also, I mean, Seymour's saying this also. No, 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 no. Lakers shot 19 free throws. Golden State had 0. The refs already trying out for the final Lakers roster spot. Yeah, I mean it's funny. I think this thing about DeAndre Ayton saying the other day that he had not worked with Luka and LeBron yet this season. Lakers fans are a little worried about this. I mean, they could see teams like ours getting together and doing mini camps all summer, going to Spain, going to Miami, going to Virginia, going to Austin, Texas. So much time the Raptors have spent together, and the Lakers have not even started to spend time together. Lakers fans are like, yeah, okay, this is probably why we suck. And we have so many different issues with our team because people aren't taking things seriously on our team, obviously. So, yeah, whatever. They're going to try and help the Lakers all they can. But the funniest things about the Lakers is they can push and prop them up so much and they'll still find a way to fail. And even with the supposed greatest of all time on their team. Yeah, they're pathetic. The Lakers get so many handouts. They really, really do. It's kind of messed up. Shaq Lindsay's here. Good morning, Shaq Lindsay. Thank you for supporting the channel. Chucky is bona fide steal in this draft. We are deep at that point guard position. It's very interesting. I've touched on this in the last couple of days that 2 years in a row, we've drafted really good point guards. I mean, I love it because, after the years of Malachi, I'll bring him up again. This has been the one area where I was like, man, we need better backup point guard. Now we have 2 really good backup point guards. And like I said yesterday or the day before, with Shed being so advanced last year as a rookie, it allowed us to move Mitchell in the middle of the season, Davion Mitchell, because he wasn't as necessary because Shed was like that. In some ways, Mitchell was just insurance, just in case Shed. I mean, well, they didn't even know Shed would progress this well. Seriously. Now, it could be very similar. Chucky's progressing faster than we thought he would and being useful at the NBA level. And who knows what that means? It means we've got good point guard depth. I know that. And that's fantastic. And I like that. I like that. But yeah, he's doing something, man. He's doing something. Seymour saying Raptors playoff run is going to hit different this year. Wait and see. I know. ESPN says we're getting out of the first round. I know. They hate us. How did they say that? Who edited that article? What? You put on your simulation that the Raptors will beat the Pacers in the first round of the NBA playoffs? That can't be right. That's what the computer said, boss. Well, why wouldn't you change it? We're not trying to say anything good about the Raptors here. You know that. Well, I wanted to keep true to what it said. Well, all right. We'll put it through. But nobody really believes this shit, do they? I'm telling you, man. ESPN trying to be helpful to us. Shaq Lindsay saying, trust me, Chucky is going to be really good. The ways that I can see him improve is like a lot like Colin Murray Boyles. He's a very strong guy for just coming into the NBA now. Like they both have strength that is fine in the NBA. And so in some ways, that's a big stumbling block for a lot of players. You want to draft players or bring in players from your undrafted that are NBA ready. And that, it's tough to find NBA ready players that are just plug in. Yeah, we can go and give you quality minutes right away, right from the start. But we've been doing this. Jamal Shed did this last year. You could argue that Jamison Battle, our undrafted last year, was NBA ready right away. You could argue that, both our guys this year are already NBA ready. Colin Murray Boyles and Chucky Hepburn. They both seem very NBA ready to contribute in regular season NBA games for us. And I like that. In some ways, that's part of the decision when we picked Colin over Common. Is Common's not ready for the NBA right now. He's not ready to plug in and play and do things on a good level for you consistently. But Colin Murray Boyles is. And that's going to be that's all part of the genius and the smart front office work by Ujiri before and Webster now. And Webster with Ujiri, is that they understand that, that's part of the factoring in on a value is, well, Is this guy got a floor already coming in that's useful? And that means if we have a guy that's already NBA ready coming in, that means we're getting ultimate value on rookie contract scale. Because in some ways, you get Common Malawak on your team, like Phoenix did. They'll pick after us, but you're paying him his rookie money in development. And he's like not going to be out there maybe completely giving huge amounts of rotation minutes from the start. And who knows, maybe he doesn't hit till like his second or third year in the league. And you're running out of time on his rookie contract on the cheap. But if you get a good player that's already ready, like Chucky, like Colin, like Jamal Shed, you're getting a good value on them, and they're giving you useful NBA minutes on rookie scale longer. Does that make sense? Logical right there. That's right. Logical. Naka's saying Jalen Hood Shafino. Yeah, Shafino. That's right. That guy wasn't jack shit. He's bounced out of the league already. That's what I was saying. You guys remember when we did the scouts and I scouted on him and I said, man, no, not this guy. Nah, I called that and I was right. There was another guy that was kind of like him and he's still bouncing around. And I think that he's going to be a bust too. And that's Kobe Buffkin. Yeah, he's another one that, that was in that category when I scouted them. I was like, yeah, this guy doesn't have any transferable NBA skills. He's undersized and the skills that he does in college don't transfer to the NBA easily. And, I can see this kind of shit because I know what matters in the NBA. And, I can watch a college player and watch that's why the scout of the day is so fun when I do it, because I don't watch these college guys at all. And then I see them for the first time at the beginning of the year when we do our scouts on this channel. And I'm like, yeah, no, this guy's not going to be doing this in the NBA. There's certain levels of things and I can see this and that. And I understand. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, coach. Good morning to Raptor Freak coach. Cool Cat. That's right. Seymour's saying, I'm not even paying any attention to Chucky. We paying IQ a lot of money. He is him. Let that man develop. I'm with you on this. Actually, that's true. And if I make overtures, listen, Emmanuel Quickley is a point guard that we pined for to have, and we've got him finally. It's like we weren't rich in point guard for a while, and we're very rich in point guard. And we're starting to get wealth at center too, which is good because those are two positions that in the last 10 years, the Raptors have short-staffed them at, and on purpose at times. But, I like the luxury of having three solid point guards. And I'm with Seymour in his sentiment like this. Like, right now, Emmanuel's had a good game. He played really well on Sunday. In some ways, the preseason is important for Chucky to really show himself and get known. That's probably more important than what Shed does or IQ does in some ways. Because if Chucky Hepburn gets some trust with Darko and the rest of the team, he's going to be able to be in our rotation very quickly right away this season. And that in some ways that's important. Now we want IQ. He's going to catch speed and get going as the season comes up. He's going to get his rhythm. He's going to get he's going to get going. And that's what we want for him in the preseason, really, is to just start to get his rhythm and to start getting amped up for the season and get going. But I'm with Seymour. Listen, don't get it twisted. We may be really high on Chucky Hepburn. And I know that Raptors fans have a proclivity to, once there's a good player on our team, they think, oh, well, we don't need this person anymore. And they start talking down on him. Don't do this. Don't do this. Let's have wealth. Let's have abundance. Let's have as many good, talented players on our team. And let's not say just because this guy came, well, this guy doesn't need to be here anymore. Because there's way too much of this stupid shit going on. Colin Murray Boyles coming up doesn't mean Scotty's expendable. Seriously. Shed and Hepburn being good doesn't mean IQ is expendable. Bobby Webster will decide how he wants to balance things with the plan, engaging and grading the talent and thinking about the long term and adjusting that way. So, and it's not up to Raptors fans to point. Now, you could have your favorites and the people you're like, yeah, this person for sure. This person, I don't care if they leave or not. But I feel like there's just way too much of this energy out there. And once again, this is kind of a knife in the back to our guys. I don't want to talk about we should trade IQ on this channel. I don't want to do that because I don't want to stab Quickly in the back. I like him. I love him on our team. I like that he's best friends with RJ. I love that he's embraced Raptors culture. And he's been a very good Raptor in the time he's been. He could have been healthy more. That would be nice. But for the most part, IQ's been exemplary awesome on Toronto Raptors. So I hate it when fans or Raptors Nation, they just, the stuff that's going on with Scott right now, just because Colin is showing strength and good stuff right now is not necessary. We would love to have Murray Boyles with Barnes on the lineup and long term both together as Raptors. That, I hate that mentality from Raptors fans that do that. It's like, oh, this guy got good. Well, that means we don't need this guy anymore. Let's get rid of him. That's the same shit that made Tracy McGrady go to Orlando, you idiots. And think about the championships we might have left on the table if there wasn't all the buzz around Tracy McGrady can't play with Vince Carter because he doesn't want to be Robin to his Batman. Let's stop this kind of energy because that's what that energy is, guys. And think about if Tracy had stayed with Toronto, what could have been possible in the 2000s. So, see, that's what I'm saying there, guys. That's what I'm saying. Y'all always say we want a super team. We need to get another superstar. And then we start to have guys on our team that actually look like a superstar 3. And all of a sudden you're like, we can trade this guy. We can trade this guy. That kind of stuff actually makes me think these are people that are not actually our fans. They're just trying to feed bullshit to us about what they think we should do. Trade Scotty. This is bullshit. Trevor J saying Chucky might be the biggest steal of the NBA draft. The Raptors front office all the way finds the right players. Yeah, Raptors front office all the way find the right players. I think that's what he meant to say. Don't find the players. What did they do? Seriously. Yeah, I mean, we've done a good job of picking people in the Masai era and going into now just the Webster era, the Masai Webster era into the Webster era. Very astute, very smart, not wasting picks, not wasting undrafted, not wasting a lot. Other teams have a lot of waste around their teams, like mess ups. The Raptors don't do that. We get our draft picks right. We get our undrafteds right. We make trades that make sense and usually work out, and they're helpful to us. That's something, and that's something that they never, ever gave us enough credit when Messiah was around in some ways. Sam Presti this, Sam Presti that. They should have been lauding the Raptors front office for 12 years now, and they should continue to do it for Bobby going forward too. Seriously, because this is true. Shaq Lindsay saying, I've never seen a point guard come out of the draft so poised and plays both ends of the floor. Shed. And, look, Chucky looks really good right now, but it's a small sample size. We got to remember this also. Chucky's really kicking ass, and this is a really good time for him to kick ass. In some ways, his threes are going in nicely right now, but that's not guaranteed for the whole season. And there will be times this year where Chucky looks like a rookie, undrafted, and not good. So he's just on a high. In some ways, he's going good. If he can be steady like this the whole entire year, and it's just like, oh, yeah, no, wait, he is actually this steady, Lex. There isn't another side where we see Chucky kind of fail. I don't know. We'll have to see. We have to continue to discover. It could very well be that Chucky's riding a high right now, and there will be, times where he's kind of down and not hitting his shot and not as useful to the Raptors. So we got to be open to that possibility because it's always like a different sample sizes. And right now, the sample size of what we're getting from Chucky right now is really good. And on the flip side, we may see a period of time where Elijah Martin just rises up and kicks so much ass and he's just on a crazy hot streak. And everybody would be saying, wow, Elijah, look at this, look at this, look at this. That's probably going to happen too at some point this season. Yeah. Yeah. Smooth saying Raptors are better than Boston. That's a bold take. I don't think it is. You can look at the paper and you can see Jason Tatum's not healthy. We're better than them. They got Jaylen Brown. They got Derek White. Who else do they got? They traded all the rest of them out. They've had one of the biggest talent drains on their team this summer. The Boston Celtics downgraded their team so much trying to shed salary that they have a talent drain. It statistically showed on an ESPN report this summer that the Celtics had the biggest loss in win shares for teammates leaving their team. And it's deep. It's not even just like people like Horford, Drew Holiday, Brasingas. It's people like Luke Cornett. Their big backup center, he's gone too. So it's like, I don't think this is that bold. I think that if people were really thinking in their right minds and looking at this objectively instead of just kissing the Celtics ass in the media, they'd see exactly what I see. That on paper, we're a way better team talent-wise. And that if we go out in the court and we do what Darko says and we're healthy, we should be higher than the Celtics in the standings. We should be higher than the Sixers. We should be higher than the Nets. And we'll just have to see about the Knicks. The Knicks will be tougher. They'll be the toughest team to get above in the Atlantic Division. But there is a very good chance the Raptors, if Knicks don't work with Mike Brown, they're on top of the Atlantic Division again this year, guys. So we got to aim for the top because that's where we can go if we do things right. We ain't trying to waste no time. Yeah. Smooth saying, even without Tatum, they're still a good club. Not on a chip level, but still solid. See, I don't believe this. I think that in some ways, the team the Celtics have been playing has been getting away with some stuff just because of pure talent and teamwork. In some ways, they have a house of cards that they built in the Celtics scheme and system. It's depending on small ball and fast passing and making threes. You know, you live and die by the three. You're going to lose at some point because you're just not going to make them. And there's been times we played the Celtics in the last couple of years where they've been like awful because they don't hit their three. And they are a dull knife then. If they have to depend on making their threes, those threes will go away at some point. And this is the thing. Think about this, Smooth. Their talent at three-point shooting has gone down this offseason too. They don't have as good a three-point shooting. Tatum's out, and those guys all left. So if they're going to run their small ball, pass it around, we're going to outpace the defense to get the open shot. They have less talent that do that. Their house of cards may fall this year. And we may not see the exemplary offense that the Celtics are used to in the last couple of years. And part of it is Tatum's gone. Part of it is a lot of veteran guys just left, and Horford and Holiday. Holiday's really a huge part of why the Celtics won that championship recently. It's because he is an intangibles kind of guy that does so much for his team. And they're going to really miss Drew Holiday this year, guys. They're going to really miss Cornette also. Watch. They're going to miss both those guys. I'm just saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Can you understand what I'm saying with the Celtics house of cards? And, you know, no team in this league is the balls to try and mimic the Celtics exactly. They're all going to play centers. They're not going to totally rely on the three as much as the Celtics do. The Celtics have an audacity to do that. Their personnel has been mostly pretty good three-point shooters. This shit don't work without Hauser and Pritchard. Those guys have to be hitting their shots like they do, 60, 70% of them, or they are going to fail because it's a house of cards kind of offense. They don't rely on anything other than the three. And if you can take that away from them because their talent isn't as good, they're going to look really bad this year. Watch. Even ESPN's simulation, when they did it, the Boston Celtics had a losing record in their simulation that came out. I'm just saying, I'm looking at what they got, and I'm not looking at it the way the league's trying to tell me to look at it. Shaq Lindsay saying Chucky gave Peyton Pritchard nightmares. Man, Peyton Pritchard gives us nightmares with the way he plays and shoots and stuff like that. Dude is annoying, man. He's annoying. Yeah. Smooth saying, I know you're not a Celtics guy, so I get it. Are you a Celtics guy? Is that why you're like standing up for them? I don't get that. No, it's not that I'm not a Celtics guy. I'll try and be fair about this. I'm just looking at this the way it is, man. They have a house of cards that's been successful that only works with Tatum, Brown, and Holiday and White, a lineup like that with Horford or something like that. This shit ain't going to work with Chris Boucher at center. This shit ain't going to work with Nemes Queta. Like, what the fuck? Seriously. And not only that, like, they're way more open and susceptible to get beat up by bigs in this league at this point. They have no big guys down low. And what I think this is just like the Raptors in Tampa, that the Celtics on purpose are short staffing themselves at center to lose so that they get a high draft pick this year. And that's another reason why there's too much of a foreshadowing that this is the plan for them this year. There's too much of a foreshadowing. They're tanking their roster on purpose to lose on purpose. I can tell. And you're going to see it in the standings this year. You're going to see it. Watch. You're going to see it. Seymour saying this. It's a toss-up for the Atlantic this year. Hang on. It jumped ahead. It's a toss-up in the Atlantic this year. Where is it? Seymour was the one who's saying it. It's a toss-up for the Atlantic this year. Nets and Sixers have no shot. Yes, Rockets is no joke. I think that the Rockets are a joke if they're going to start three centers. That's a joke. You know what's a joke about the Rockets? And I'm gonna tell you this right now: is Fred's absent. They're fucked, man. They don't have a real point guard. I don't know. ESPN's crazy. They did their trios, like the big three of each team, and they put Reed Shepherd in the Rockets' big three. When has Reed Shepherd ever proven he's an NBA player yet? Let alone say he's one of the big three of the Houston Rockets. Reed Shepherd, Kevin Durant. No, they didn't even put Kevin Durant as one of the big three. They put Amen, Alperen, and Reed Shepherd. They didn't even put Kevin Durant as one of the big three for the Rockets. I'm like, what the fuck are you on, ESPN writer? How do you choose these big threes for teams and you didn't put Durant on the Rockets' big three, but you put Reed Shepherd on it? Reed Shepherd ain't done shit to prove nothing in the NBA. He was a good college player and everybody likes him. In some ways, he's a bona fide guy. He's a guy that they want to market as a star, but his rookie year was a bust. And the fact that they are putting so much on his shoulders to think that he could fucking do something this year in the place of Fred VanVleet is a joke. It's absolutely a joke. So I could see Reed Shepherd fall flat on his face this year. And they are going to try and run Thompson at point guard more often. Watch, because Reed Shepherd's going to be ineffective. In some ways, he's exactly what I was talking about just a second ago. Very good college player, but it does not translate to the NBA. And we're going to see that with him. Watch. We're going to see that. No, I think the Rockets would have been better if Freddie was healthy. But since Freddie's out, there's no guarantee that they're going to be up near the top of the Western Conference. With Freddie healthy, they'd be a top 3 Western team. With Freddie out, they're in the middle of the pack, as far as I'm concerned. They're in the middle of the pack. That's right. The toss-up in the Atlantic, it's Raptors or Knicks. Those are the only 2 teams that will win the Atlantic this year. Those are the only 2 teams. The only way the Sixers win it is if they have health, and you know that ain't happening. You know they ain't having that. Trevor's saying foolish thinking goes hand in hand with foolish people. Both of them fool themselves all the time. He's giving me another word of wisdom there. Just dropping them here. Shaq Lindsay saying, I know it's early to say, but Chucky might be better than Fred. I don't know if I can say that. This is the thing. Fred has intangibles. Fred has intangibles beyond him. You know, Chucky's taller than Fred. In some ways, there's some things, like I said, that they're similar about. But there's a lot of stuff in the brain of Fred that is extra good. Like Fred is one of the smartest players in the NBA. He has one of the highest IQs. He's one of the most thoughtful, introspective people, and he really understands the NBA on a different level. He was lucky. He came into the league in the Raptors, and people around here nurtured him and really taught him. And Kyle Lowry's a big one. Kyle Lowry passed the keys to Fred, and Fred, he tried to pass the keys to Malachi, but Fred, I don't know, man. There's a certain specialness to Fred. He's a GOAT. And in some ways, I can't say this. There's not enough evidence of Chucky anywhere near this. I don't think you're right. I don't think he will be better than Fred. But if he's anywhere kind of close to Fred or getting closer to him, that'll be good. That'll be good. Cream Thomas is saying this. Tonight, I want to see downhill Scotty. I don't care how open he is. I want to see him strengthen his strength. Working inside out has always been the best version of Scotty. Let BI and RJ quickly put it up. Now, I think I have another theory for why we're not getting what you want from Scott as far as downhill Scotty or post Scotty is because of this, man. It's preseason once again. And maybe they don't want Scott doing any bully ball down low because that is higher chances of possible injury. He comes down near the court and he's fighting down low in position. We know he can do post stuff. It's not like we need him to do post stuff in the game tonight. That's why I was having a problem with your comments the other night. It's like, he doesn't have to fucking go down low. He doesn't have to drive to the basket because in some ways, Darko may be thinking, if I make him go do stuff like that, I don't want to chance Scotty getting any injuries. So it's light work, as Fiercey says. Let him go out there and do light work. Don't let him do anything on the court that could possibly lead him to, being on the floor with a broken elbow, a broken eye socket from Nikola Jokic elbowing him, stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. The preseason, we just want to be healthy. And putting Scotty in high risk physical battles down low is not the assignment for this. The assignment is Scotty's trying new things that you've never seen him do before, or maybe he's doing different things in different ways. I think that's part of it. Now, if we see Scotty going downhill, I won't be upset, but that's because Darko gave him the green light or said, you know what, we're going to work on this tonight. I really wish you guys would understand this. A lot of the stuff Scott's done, we already know he can do. It's not like we need to see him do this shit in preseason. In some ways, we'll see it in the regular season when it counts, and when if we're going to risk him for any kind of physical contact. That's why I think they do this. And also, I mean, I get why you want to do this, because you want to be reassured that Scotty is a certain level of his play, because everybody else is freaking out about it right now and say Scotty's not this, Scotty's not that. And you just want him to prove it to them and stun on them hoes and tell them to shut the fuck up. I get that. But that's not necessarily the assignment. And it could very well be, once again, you're disappointed in what Darko's doing with Scott tonight. Just let him do what he's supposed to do. Because this is the first thing I'll say. Whatever Scott is doing in the game, he's doing assignment. It's not like Scott is a improviser. He is in some ways, but it's not really what it is. It's Darko's going to give him his focus. He's going to say, this is what you need to really think about tonight. And that's what he's going to do. So it's not like Scott is outside the lines or doing stuff that he's not supposed to be doing. He's doing what his assignments are. And his assignment in the first game was Nikola. And the assignment on Sunday was to get a lot of rebounds and play good defense. So we just got to understand, Darko's giving him instructions. He's following the instructions. And it may not be go get in the low post and do Kawhi Leonard impersonation. So I think that's a lot of it right there. Because that's, once again, preseason's for different reasons. Preseason's to figure out who's the 18th player on our team. It's also to see who's going to be in the rotation. And with some of the starters, let's get experimental and let them do things a little bit differently than they normally would do. And let's just see a couple other things this way. So I want you guys to orient your brains this way when you're thinking about, what do I expect? Don't expect anything from Scott. Just let him go out there and follow the assignment that Darko gives him. That's what it is right there. And it has nothing to do with scoring. It has nothing to do with points. It can be he's just playing defense. It could be that he's facilitating as the passer. There's all kinds of different ways Scott could be successful on the court. Chris comes here. Hey, yo, Lex and Raptors freaks. What's up, man? Chriscom? Let's go. I hope we get our full starting five. I'm at work, so I may have missed the injury report. We'll just have to see. I mean, will Jakob play on his birthday? That'd be awesome. We get to see Jakob make his preseason debut on his birthday, his 30th birthday today. Get out there, Jak, and get back in the game. I'd love to see Jak back out there. IQ, RJ, Brandon, they're not hurt. Scotty on the down low has a knee issue, but it's not. He should be able to place too. So maybe we will get the starters tonight. I hope so. But then again, there's only 2 preseason games left, and Darko's got to figure out Roddy and Roden and Sar and AJ Lawson, and he wants to look at Elijah Martin some more too, I'll bet. So it's stuff like that, man. It's stuff like that. We'll have to see. Hopefully they do start, though. I'd like to see that. Trevor's saying, I will post a picture of my game room today. Just some final touches. Okay, cool. And I'm sure you're going to put a bunch of food in there, too, in that game room. We'll see the food also. Trevor J's probably going to have a big sports party again today with the brand new game room. I've had some friends over and play some air hockey and shoot some basketball hoops. And eat some fantastic wings and other food. Oh, my gosh, Trevor. You drive me nuts, man, with your food pictures, man. It's just wrong, I'll tell you. I bought some wings, though. I got some in the fridge. I'm going to eat them. If you pull that wings picture out later today, and I'm like, damn it, Trevor did it again. He's got my taste buds going. He's got me wanting to go eat wings. I'm going to go get the wings out of the freezer, and I'm going to make them. I'll be like, yeah, Trevor, I got my wings now. They're not the same, though, I'm sure. Let's see. Nako's here. Good. Nako's saying Raptors versus Pacers. Pacers in 5. Common is putting up good numbers in preseason. Yeah, but it's still preseason also. The one thing I'll say about Common Malawak is that his offense is a real project. That's it. His defense will be fine. He can rebound. He can block shots. The other problem with Common is he may be slow. We'll just have to see how quick he is with the NBA game, and whether he's responsive fast enough to be in the right place in the right time. That's one of the ways he could bust, is if he's too slow to adjust or to read, and he's just not getting the spots in time, and people are just scoring on him. So we'll have to see. There's a couple of ways Common could be a problem. Look at Koloko. You can see, this guy's amazing. He's so tall. He could be a really good player. Look at how he's busting out. So there's no guarantees on anything. I'm telling you right now. There's no guarantees on anything with any player. And Common, in some ways, passing on him and going with Colin is looking better and better every day to me. That's for sure. It's looking better and better every single day. That's right. Kareem saying Common is actually looking pretty good right now. I watched him against the Lakers last night. Colin Murray Boyles was the right pick, but Common ceiling is going to look insane in a couple years. I don't believe that. I still don't believe that, guys. You guys, I didn't go watch him yet, but I'm just saying, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see over time. This is something we can't assess and just say right now. It's just like Chucky Hepburn. I can say, yeah, he's on a hot streak right now, or he's doing really well consistently right now. Will he keep that? Is Common just feeling a bump from being new in the NBA and it's like, ooh, I'm in the NBA? You can look real good in preseason against other rookies. Doesn't mean he'll get in there and play good against people like Gobert and Draymond Green. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see. Wayne's here. Good morning to our Sergeant at Arms, Wayne Strainer. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Would love to see an experimental bench crunch time crew with Chucky and Shed at the same time. Don't know who does what, but the execution factor would be very high. Yeah, that's a cool look. There probably has been a couple times in preseason where we've seen Shed and Hepburn on the court together. Maybe a little bit. I'm trying to remember. I'll bet you they've been out there a couple times together. When that happens, I would slot them this way because in some ways it's more natural for Chucky to be the 2 and Shed to be the 1 because Shed has more experience running teams in the NBA. And he's in some ways, Shed sees the floor and does the pace the best out of the whole Raptors. In some ways, he does a little bit better than IQ. So if I had it that way, especially since Chucky's still green and new, I'd just let Chucky be the off guard and Shed would be in charge of the offense. If that is the lineup we got. In my eyes, that's the way I would do it. Let's see. Fiercely saying this. Hi, Kareem. Did Koloko play? Speaking of the Lakers, allegedly La Diva is waiting to see how competitive they are while sidelined. He'll make a decision on whether he asks for a trade or not. Selfish behavior. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, LeBron, you might as well go ahead and start asking for the trade. You might as well go out and start asking the trade right now. And yeah, that'd be crazy if LeBron never ever plays another game for the Lakers. And nobody knew that was going to happen. Just out of the blue, all of a sudden, no, LeBron doesn't suit up. He's not going to come play. No, he's done. We're just waiting to trade him. He's got an ankle injury or something. He's on the down low out. Yeah, he's just out. He's out. Oh, you trading him? Okay, good. It's Luka's team. It's Luka's team. That's right. Let's see. Chris comes saying this. I like what you said about Colin Murray Boyles being ready to play and trust compared to Common. I wanted to the center too, but then I know better than to think I know more than Masai. Casuals need to chill. That's the thing with centers. I mean, they really do have a book, a handbook. Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster have been really they have rules for themselves and the way they do things. And I think on the down low, one of those rules is that they don't really try and draft a lottery center. We've had a couple of lottery centers in the past. They did do Jakob, and Jakob has been a project. Jakob was a project in his first stint with the Raptors, but he really had to go and mature and come back around to be at this point in his career where we're enjoying him as the veteran presence he is now. We could look back to Jonas. Jonas is another high draft pick center that the Raptors got, and he was definitely a project. He didn't even come his first year. He played one more year in Lithuania before he actually came to the Raptors. So we missed out on him for a few years. And he didn't get really good for a couple. He had to be Jonas didn't really hit his stride until like 4th season or 5th season. He was really awkward in all kinds of different ways, young in his career. So, centers take a while. And if you're looking at your timeline and the way you're doing things, you got to factor that in. Now, Shamshay being a 2nd round pick and late, he's a project. He's a classic project, but he's a late draft project. But if you're going to pick number 9 and you're going to pick another center project, just like you got a Cameroonian guy already, that didn't make any sense because we need somebody to plug in and play right now. And the Murray Boyles is definitely that much more than Malawak in some ways. I see it. Naka saying Common, Colin, Jeremiah Fears, Knipple, Cooper Flag, VJ, Ace, probably Dylan Harper have been the best rookies so far. No specific order. Yeah, I haven't been watching anything. I've only watched the Raptors. I'm once again, I have tunnel vision. If these guys are so good, I'll see them when they come around. We did talk about Common and Jeremiah on this channel. We in the pre-draft stuff, we did streams on both of them. We did a stream on Jeremiah Fears. We did a stream on Common Malawatch. So yeah, we were kind of looking at them already. The other guys were big names and were at the top of the draft anyway, so you knew that they were going to be something there. Kareem saying Koloko did play, and he's just doing cardio. He actually looks good as well. He has great ball handling skills, but it seems like his role is just to sub in, facilitate, and remain a center filler. Interesting. Koloko would look so fucking good with the Raptors. Ugh, that boat has sailed. I guess F, Clutch, and Rogers. Yeah, Rogers for sure. Man, the thing with Koloko, in some ways, I know I bring it up from time to time, but in some ways, it's like, I don't care. That's all water on the bridge. Everybody's made their bed and they're lying in it. And well, I'm very happy with the Raptors roster right now. It would have been nice if Christian could have stayed around and be a part of what we're doing right now. But alas, he has Clutch as his management. And I don't know, maybe they thought this was a smart business move for his career. Well, you go to LA and play on the Lakers with LeBron to kill your career. That's what's happened in most of the years that LeBron's been there. Everybody's been around him has suffered for it in their career on LA. That's just true. That's just true. You think I'm crazy? No, that's absolutely the truth. Kareem saying Common's stat line was really good. Him being on the Suns may speed up his development or kill it. Time will tell. Yes. Yes. I mean, they're probably going to need to play him because their team is weird, man. Their team is very strange. So definitely opportunities there for Malawatch. And we'll just have to see, man. We'll just have to see. I'm still leaning he's going to be a bust, y'all. And I'll stay on that. I'll stay on that. You guys can see him now and say this and this, but that doesn't mean he may not still be like a full career NBA player, guys. Shaq Lindsay saying this, with all due respect, Seymour, no one's talking about trades. Chucky elevates Shed and IQ's games, just like CMB and Scotty. Yeah, he's not trying to say that. It's just that I'm making overtures that, having two really good point guards 2 years in a row coming into our team and Jamal Shed and Chucky Hepburn, casual Raptors fans may infer that IQ is expendable. That's the only reason why I bring this topic up. And I think that that's really dead wrong, honestly. I think that if Bobby decides that he can do something with the roster spot and the salary that he pays quickly in a trade that makes sense to improve our team, he might do it. But I think it's way too early to pull the trigger on anything like that just because it looks like Shed is his incumbent. I don't think Shetty's totally ready for that responsibility, and it could really backfire on the Raptors. So it's important for us to still have the exemplary scoring of IQ. But that's the thing. It's inferred. And some people will take this 1 + 1 = 2. Chucky and Shed are so good. Do we need quickly? And in some ways, I'm bringing this topic up ahead of time because this could be a storyline that some people start talking about around our team, depending on just how good Hepburn is this year. So, and Shed continuing to develop. So, I think that quickly, absolutely. This is the thing I want because I know IQ is going to just take a jump in his game very soon. And in some ways, Bobby Webster's got to be cautious about this. He's got to be thinking, IQ's going to jump like Maxey. He's going to jump like Maxey. And we want to be the team that enjoys the bump when Emmanuel Quickley finally gets to the next level, guys. We don't want to trade him and then all of a sudden he just blows up on the next team, right? So that there's a lot of danger in that because he's got a lot of value right now. And in some ways, some people say he's overpaid right now, but he's going to earn that contract very soon. And in some ways, he may look like a steal on that contract in the near future. So we'll just have to see. Emmanuel's going to be busting out at some point. I know he is. He's showing all the signs of it. And he's at that point in his career where, it's either going to happen now or it's never going to happen. And he wants it to happen. And he's going to make it happen. I believe in Emmanuel Quickley. Trust me, I believe in him. That's right. Randolph saying, beloved Raptor Freaks family, blessings. Others are watching the way you live your life. The standards you live by will inspire others to raise theirs higher if yours are morally high. That's a good one right there. So yeah, we are examples to the world. And when we're out in the world and we are in the world, you want to put out a good example. And hopefully, people will want to, follow your lead. Yeah, well, you guys are talking a lot about energy and what we put out today in both your words of wisdom. And it's true. You don't want to be ugly energy. You don't want to be out there, being hateful or discriminatory. You don't want to be out there being somebody who's you know, just a piece of crap. You want to be good to everybody. That's why you do stuff like hold the door for someone. That's why if somebody's in trouble and you don't even know them, you help them out. You go over there and help them carry something that's too heavy that they can't carry. That kind of stuff is important. Those kind of commercials when I was a kid, they used to come on. There's the Church of Latter-day Saints, and they always showed like good examples of people coming and doing something in the community to be helpful and goodwill towards men and women, just to everybody. That kind of stuff matters. And we want to see more of this kind of energy in the world right now, because there's a lot of ugly energy out there right now. And we need to be examples of the good energy that we want the new world to be as we go forward right now. Blessings to the Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Appreciate you, Randolph. That's right. James is saying Common can easily get 20 minutes a game during the season. Sun center rotation is weak. Yeah, I can see that. Now, will it be quality time? Will that team do anything in the standings? Will it just be empty, losing minutes like he's playing for the Charlotte Hornets? You got to ask yourself those questions. What is the quality of the team and the play, and whether they're winning, and whether that matters? Like with him, he can get time, he can play out there, but it don't matter because the team sucks. I don't know. I mean, the build for the Suns is really bad. They've got a bunch of shooting guards. I love you, Villain Dylan. You are awesome. But yeah, that team don't make no sense to me. They've got Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Grayson Allen. These are all shooting guards. Anyway, the Suns are weird, man. The Suns are very weird, man. That's right. Blessings to Randolph from Seymour. I love to see that. Kareem saying, by the way, the Nuggets still ride in their team chemistry and look really good. Jamal might just get his all-star nod this year. JV looks rejuvenated with the presence of Joker, and they played zone together. Scary. No, I'll agree with this. And I have seen this Nuggets in preseason. And so I agree with this. And that's what I said after seeing them in the first preseason game is the Nuggets are going to be a top 3 Western team. They're very dangerous this year. They're as good. They're looking more like the year they won the championship. And part of it is Bruce Brown being on their team again. So, we'll just have to see. Jamal Murray has to stay healthy. That's absolutely crucial. I like you saying that you think he'll be an all-star this year. Although, in some ways, I don't want him to be an all-star because I'd rather RJ to be all-star. If somebody's going to go to the world team from Canada, SGA is going to be there for sure. We know that. But who's going to be the second best Canadian who's possibly going to be on the world all-star team this year? I'd love for it to be RJ over Jamal. But it's probably more likely, you're right, that Jamal Murray will get that all-star nod than RJ Barrett will. Because in some ways, RJ is blacklisted. It's kind of messed up, man. It's messed up. Wayne's saying this. As a fan, hang on, I jumped ahead. I want to make sure I don't miss any comments today. Where is Wayne? Wayne is saying, as a fan, I am enjoying the moment. Come February, all we are going to hear is draft picks. Colin Murray, Boyles, Chucky, and whoever else will not be good enough. I'll be enjoying our progression in playoff basketball. Yeah, I don't know why some fans in Raptors Nation can't just stay present. Let's not get ahead. Let's not worry about the draft next year. Let's not worry about anything but we got in front of us. And that's the Celtics tonight in Boston in preseason, and the chance to go to 4-1 in our record in our preseason. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Brooklyn Nets on Friday. I'm not worried about the regular season. I'm damn for sure not worried about no draft next June. It's a long time from now, people. It's a long, long time from now. It's a long time. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Smooth saying, Reed Shepherd, are you kidding? He's Brent Price. That's a good analogy. That's probably a very good comparison. Exactly. That's not even Mark Price. That's not Mark Price. They wanted Mark Price, but they got Brent Price. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Reed Shepherd, he's just they just love him and they want to market him. The NBA wishes he was really good because they market the hell out of him like Zion and Jason Tatum and Cooper Flagg. But he's not. In some ways, he's just like, oh, it'd be so good if Reed Shepherd was a good NBA player. They think he's going to be one still. But I'm telling you, there's flaws to him that will not allow him to be a good NBA player. That's what I'm saying right there. Infamous saying, salute, freaks. Can we calm down about a bit with the Chucky hype? Let's wait until the real games start. Yeah, this is very smart. Infamous is exactly right. This is what I'm saying. He's riding a high right now. Think about Battle last year. Think about Battle in Summer League and then in preseason. The man was amazing, shot the lights out. And he got on the team partly because of his performance at Summer League. He did so well that he became our two-way. In some ways, Battle made his way on the team. He could have easily got cut as an undrafted guy, but he proved it, and he was really hot. But there were stretches during the season where Battle was not totally hot shooting. We've seen it still. Battle is a three-point shooter. He's going to be on some nights, and some nights he's not going to be on. And there may be stretches where he's in a slump. And that's the thing. Chucky's riding a high right now. He's a little bit maybe more higher than what he'll normally do in his baseline average. And there's going to be a bottoming out where he's going to be dog shit. And then we're all going to be like, oh, fuck Chucky Hepburn. I don't want to be on his team. Overreacting by the Raptors fans, we could go either way. We can overreact in like positive and overreact in negative. And we got to understand that this is part of what's happening with Chucky. If this is his baseline, he's just solidly going to be this good. If the discovery of time, we find that, wow, actually he doesn't have a lower, no, he's going to miss shots. He's going to have a cold period and he won't look as good. And he's on a rise right now. And in some ways, that's part of it. Elijah's kind of on a cold period right now, but he could rise up and have an amazing stretch where he's just absolutely playing fantastic too. Elijah Martin. So, this guy, I think Infamous is exactly right. Chucky's on a high. He's like a shiny new player on our team, and people are maybe expecting way more or projecting way more for him than we actually should. So we're saying Fred VanVleet, the engine of that team, is going to be a tough road for Houston. They can't bring in another point guard till December 15th. Yeah, it's just that, they were, everybody's saying, why don't they just sign Russell? Why don't they sign Russell? They can't. And Kevin Durant even said, yeah, we get Russell. Is Russell a point guard, though? What the fuck? Is he going to replace Fred? No, he's not. I think their best option right now at this point is Amin Thompson. Or maybe doing a weird hybrid team where all the offense goes through Sengun. There's just a figurehead ball handler that brings the ball up the court, but the hub, just like in Denver with Nikola, is Alperen. And that's how they derive their offense and assists is from their big center from Turkey. That could very well be it. They just need somebody to protect the ball, bringing it up, get it to Alperen, and then he'll run the offense. So that may be what they have to do. These hybrid lineups look sexy, but they don't work, man. That big lineup that Seymour brought up, that's crazy, man. You got to understand how slow that team is getting up and down the court. They have no fast break, right? And it's not like Kevin Durant's running. It's not like he's running. So, yeah. We Raptors fans should know this. Yeah, exactly. That's why, in some ways, it's like they're the two ends of the spectrum. The Rockets team y'all talked about with Adams, Jabari, and Sengun, and Kevin Durant, and Amin Thompson. And then the lineup of the Celtics is the opposite, the other way. Chris Boucher at center, Sam Hauser at power forward, Derek White at small forward. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, Boston? You're short staff. You're short stack. And every team, most of the guys at every position are taller than you. And that's, in basketball, not a good thing. It's not a good thing, man. It was saying, I agree, Lex. I just want Scotty to take it easy. He's trying to work and expand on his game. You seem to be the only one that gets it. I appreciate listening to you 100% on point with your assessment. Well, I just want people to be fair to him. I think, once again, I know you're a franchise face. People really want you to be successful. They really put you under a microscope and they really overanalyze you. But to me, look, as somebody who analyzes the Raptors every single day, I know when to analyze and when not to. And I really feel like my comparison to a caterpillar in a cocoon is what's going on with Scott. And people got to really understand he's metamorphosizing as a player. You may not totally understand it or see the gains right now, but they're coming. I can see them in little ways from things he's doing. Part of it's just time accrued and more maturity and understanding and confidence as a leader and knowing more about the NBA and how it goes, because he's a very cerebral player and he's very much reading everything all the time. Scotty can see patterns and he's just adding to his database. Now, everybody expects, once again, progress to be linear. They just whoop, but that's not how it works with everybody. And in some ways, in some people's careers, it goes up and down. It's not even that I'm saying this guy's gone down. I think that it's just that his stats in some ways have plateaued for a couple years now, and they just want him to get up higher. And if your only indication of whether Sky's doing well is his points per game, you're going to be disappointed. You just need to stop, seriously, because you're never going to be pleased with how much he scores. I kind of gave up after a while. I used to goad Scott on Twitch when he'd show up in the early part of his career. Go get 40, man. Go get 40. I mean, he was having trouble just getting the 30 for a while there in the very early part. And then he got 30, and then he got to 35, but he still hasn't gotten to 40. He still hasn't gotten to 40. And part of that is that he's just not trying to go get all of it and just eat himself. He's feeding everybody else too. He's that relative at the family gathering that says, hey, Mima, you want a plate? All right, I'll go get you a plate. Hey, Auntie, you want a plate? Yeah, I'll go get you a plate. Don't get up. No, just stay there. You're in your conversation. I'll go get you a plate. Oh, hey, little nephew, you need a plate? Let me get you some plate. Yeah, he's doing this. He's giving everybody plates, and then he gets his plate. And that's part of the reason why the man's not gotten to 40 points in a game yet. His career high is not, I think it's like 35 or 36 right now. So, I mean, people got to understand who he is and his build. That's right. Milbester's here. Kirby versus Bieber today. Shane Bieber takes the mound for the Blue Jays against the Mariners in Game 3 of the ALCS. Absolutely crucial game for Toronto Blue Jays to win tonight. Yeah. Oh, man, you guys got to do it, man. Get that energy going. And maybe the locale of being on the road will get you guys and your bats going. You cannot lose today. If you lose today, it's pretty much done, honestly. But you can win today, get a little bit of momentum going back on Toronto's side in this ALCS. That'd be fantastic. Milbester, salute to the Yankees freak. Our guy, Milbester, the man in New York. That's right. Seymour saying, I hope Jim Capers is okay after that fall, trying to separate Taurean Prince and Grayson Allen. Really, James Capers Jr. had got in the middle of a fracas and he got hurt. I don't like that. You know, James Capers has not always been one of my favorite refs, but I will show love and sympathies and hope that he's just okay. All blessings and hope that James Capers is okay from this incident. Wow, I didn't know that. Preseason battles. Yeah, this preseason has been very physical. It's been a little bit more energy expended in it. All these teams are trying to play hard now. It's a copycat league, and they're showing their play hardness in the preseason already. And we've had people getting into fights. We've had people getting into skirmishes and get hurt. We've had a lot of crazy defense that's way ratcheted up more than normal preseason games. Yeah, this is a very different year in some ways coming in this way. Yeah, Seymour's saying they asked the Raptors, what do you consider old? They all asked how old Temple is. Laugh out loud, Young Bucks. Yeah, that clip was funny. I saw that clip a little while ago. There's Blackhawk. Neil's checking in. Good to see him. Milbester's saying, Lex, representing classic 77 to 96, 89 Jays, and 91 through 92. Oh, because of the hat. Yeah, not only that, guys, I want to show you something else, Milbester. And you're going to be like, wow, Lex is a real one. I have an original Toronto Blue Jays World Series shirt from the first World Series. This is a shirt from that year. And yeah, you can see it. Toronto Blue Jays World Series champions, 1992 is the year on there. But this is a shirt from the year 1992. This is an official Blue Jays World Series shirt. And I'm wearing it. I've been wearing it pretty much the whole last week since we started playing the Yankees. So I got my old school Blue Jays hat, and I got my Blue Jays World Series shirt on. And hopefully that'll help them win. That's right. That's right. The Smooth saying Anthony Davis is overweight. That's a new one. There's always different ways Anthony Davis can be sidelined. This is a new one. That's right. Looks like he's been eating a lot. In some ways, that may be good, maybe not. You know, if he's eating a lot and lifting weights, he's strengthening himself, that may be good. But if he's just eating a lot and he's out of shape and he's overweight, he's injury prone more, even more so injury prone now. We'll just have to see. Let me switch it up real quick. Let's do this straight goods on Canadian goods, guys. In Toronto, there's an independent Canadian bagel shop called New Bagel, and they make their own cream cheese and bagels. So if you like bagels and you want to go get a good bagel, New Bagel in Toronto is a great company to go get bagels and cream cheese. So yeah, you want to support Canada, buy Canadian products. You buy Canadian products instead of American products, all of a sudden their profits increase and they can hire more employees. They can open more facilities. They get more of a boon. And there's a lot of great Canadian companies that are getting a leg up all of a sudden because more and more Canadians are buying Canadian products now and turning their backs on the American products right now. And I salute you guys. So yeah, New Bagel in Toronto. If you guys like bagels and you want some cream cheese, that's a great place to go and get some bagels. That's right. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah. Yeah, Kaloy's saying this. Dallas barbecue. Okay. Dallas barbecue is different, I guess. Dallas barbecue is different. Yeah, with Davis getting a little bit more weight on him. I don't know. Maybe that's part of his strategy to try and stay more healthy. Is you could strengthen yourself, and then maybe you won't get your annual injury where you sit out for a long time, stuff like that. Wayne's saying this: Darko's not running the entire playbook. We're finishing the roster, judging the rookies' attention to detail and execution. Established teammates are there for game conditioning. Yeah, that's a really good way to sum it up right there. Wayne kind of got the mission right there. Is we need to get these guys some rhythm. The starters, like Emmanuel's got to get his rhythm. Grady's got to get his rhythm. Jacoby's got to get his rhythm. Scotty's got to get his rhythm. We've got to see more of the chemistry and synergy between starters like RJ and Brandon and Scotty and Emmanuel. The assignments for the starters are a lot different than the guys from the bench. It's kind of like, all right, get your chemistry, synergy, get your rhythm, and don't get hurt. That's it. That's it. Those are maybe the main ones right there. And then the other guys, it's like play the right way, and prove to us that you can be effective and dependable and not playing sloppy, bad basketball. That's really for all the other guys, the young guys. They got to do that. They got to prove that. That's what it is. Seymour saying at Smooth, he's sad at his position. He loses weight over the course of this season and can't handle the bigs, so coming in overweight might help. That's what he said. I think that's the strategy that Jonas and Jokic had too, because they both looked way overweight when they came in the first preseason game against us when we saw them in Vancouver. Yeah, this is a strategy quite a few people utilized in the history of the NBA. Charles Barkley used to always come in to the NBA season overweight every single year. And it took like a few months in the season where he started to slim up. But in the beginning of the year, he was always overweight. Kyle Lowry's another guy that used to come into the preseason overweight every single year, or his earlier career. He stopped doing that later on. He very much did later on. Kaz saying, Lex, rate my fantasy team, please. Perfect. All right, let's do that. This is Trucker Kaz. And of course, Kaz is just coming off of a WNBA championship in our fantasy league. Fantastic stuff. So let's go see Kaz's team. I believe, where is Kaz's team on here? There he is, right there. He's got a cool clipboard for his picture with the play drawn on it. Very cool. All right, Kaz has got Trae Young at his point guard and Devin Booker. So he's got a lot of threes right there. These guys are leaders, and they do pretty good production, both of them. Jalen Green. So you got another Phoenix player right there. I don't have any respect for Jalen Green. I know he's one of Scotty's best friends, but I don't think he's a serious NBA player. And in some ways, Houston did better for trading him, honestly. Now, he can go crazy in Phoenix and score a lot. It doesn't mean he's going to win. That's the whole problem I have. I don't want guys on my team that don't add up to winning. And Jalen Green is one of those guys. Michael Porter Jr. Yeah. There are some guys on your team I can't stand. Kristaps Porzingis. Whoa! Naz Reid's solid. I like Naz Reid. Of course, John Collins is going to be out on the Clippers now. That's going to be interesting. We'll have to see what his role in the slice of the pie is in that old age home called the LA Clippers. Now, if Kawhi's in trouble and he can't be available, other things happening around there, they may need John Collins and lean on him a lot if a lot of the older Clippers are just hurt and in street clothes. So we can see John Collins maybe have a very good year on the down low in Clipperland. Tamari Kamara is fantastic. Fantastic selection there. Malik Monk is going to be solid, and we'll have to see what his piece of the pie is in Sacramento with Zach LaVine and DeMar and Dennis. Colin Sexton, you know what? In Charlotte, he could actually do stuff, but there's no guarantees. He could also be very much a bust. Rui Hachimura, one of two players that Lakers Nation is saying we can't trade. And it's not Luka, it's Austin and Rui. Really interesting. Aiden Bona, he's an interesting young player, second-year player coming up for the Sixers. Nick Richards. So you got another Phoenix Sun there. I've never really, I know Nick Richards is good friends with Emmanuel Quickly. I've never really thought of Nick Richards as being a very solid fantasy player, but if they need him in Phoenix, he'll get a lot of time. Bryce Sensabaugh, that was like Gubstown Clink's pick of the year, draft a couple years ago. There's Scotty, another one of Scotty's good friends, Dayron Sharp, is on your team. So respect to Dayron. And you stashed Kyrie and Daniel Gafford to Mavericks. So yeah, you'll probably get Gafford back at some point. I don't know. I think your team overall is kind of, to me, it's not flashy. There may be some really solid fantasy players on here, but in some ways it's not flashy to me. And I don't like a lot of your team just because I don't like the players, but that's my own like prejudice. It's not necessarily that they're totally bad. It's just like, yeah, I don't like Michael Porter Jr. I don't like Chris Stapps. I don't like Jalen Green, but and then there's nobody really I'm like over the moon about on this team too. I think that's part of it too. I don't know, Kaz. You prove me wrong. I'll bet you'll do amazing this year and you'll be like one of the top 5 teams. I'm actually, when I gauge the teams, I'm kind of like speculating what I think the players might do this year. Maybe not necessarily gauging how good your team is, but whether I like the team. And sometimes if you just have players I don't like on your team, I'm like, I hate this team. And they may be a good fantasy team still. So there's a preface there. But thanks, Cass, for bringing it up and rating your fantasy team. Yeah, I got to get those done. I've got most of them done. I think I've done about 7 or 8 of them now. Let's see. Seymour's laughing at Kaloy. What up, champ? Kaz, that's right. Champion of the WNBA fantasy. That's right. Investor's saying, Lex, the Dodgers will be waiting for the Blue Jays, Mariners, and Blue Jays and Mariners in the World Series. They're up 2-0 in their NLCS. Yamamoto destroyed the Brewers. Well, that's the same situation we're in. Why are they waiting? We're ahead of them. We're going to play game 3 today. They're going to be waiting. Who depends on who finishes first, right? And there's no guarantees that they're just going to sweep out Milbester. Maybe the Brewers will wake up, and just like the Blue Jays hopefully will tonight. That's right. Kareem's saying Azure Thompson is the next Draymond Green. Like, what the fuck is his problem? Swinging punches while fighting for a rebound. I told you guys this. The Thompson twins are dangerous players. They're dirty. They're a combination of size and speed that the NBA is kind of not totally seen exactly. And the thing is, these guys are not protecting other players that are around them. If you're lashing around with limbs and arms like this, you will hit somebody in the face inadvertently and hurt them. And I've seen both the Thompsons do this shit. Both of them do this kind of stuff. So it's not a good look. In some ways, I think the Thompson twins are dirty. And they're not very careful not to hurt people. In some ways, in wrestling, we know in pro wrestling that you can do things to protect your opponent in ways that you won't let them land, or you grab them or you hold them, because that's what's important in wrestling. You're not supposed to hurt each other because it's fake, right? Well, in the NBA, you're not supposed to hurt people and hit people. But this guy's not playing. He's playing stiff. Let's just play it that way. He's playing stiff. Just like they say Scott Steiner was stiff as a wrestler on WCW Nitro with his holler, if you hear me, among my freaks. Yeah, he was a stiff wrestler. He hurt people. Road Warriors hurt people. Ultimate Warrior hurt people. Osur and Amin Thompson hurt people. And it's a similar kind of thing. They're unnecessarily hurting people because they're not playing safe around people. And that's a problem. It's not like he's trying to hit somebody, but them arms are flailing and he's hitting people still somehow, some way. That's right. Let's go do the Instagram stories real quick. First of all, we got James Wade's son is getting his hair done, and he's got the Wishnick troll look first, like with his hair all poofed up. It's pretty cool. Then he's got a little tie on the top in step 2. And then, he's kid and play in the third picture. That's pretty cool. I like that, but that's not the final product. Then he got it twisted real nice and got it all braided up on his head. Looking good. Oh, my God. Looking good, James Wade's son. That's right. Get back out on the soccer field, man. You got more soccer to play. Get out there now. Gary Trent Jr.'s got a weird picture of a bunch of the Bucks. Oh, that's him. He's like all over the court. And there's also a Kumto. I thought there was like 20 Bucks out there. There's an alley-oop to who is that? I don't even know who's on the Bucks anymore. I don't care. Jonathan Mobo has got a clip of some guy dunking it. Oi, who is that? Number 3. Eric Smith is happy because Blake Murphy has bought his book, We the Raptors, and he also got Curling Rocks. So Blake Murphy got a couple books recently. He's going to read We the Raptors by Eric Smith. Fantastic stuff. Hope you enjoy it, Blake, is what Eric's saying. Yeah, I want to get this book too. People that want to get me gifts, not necessarily Raptors freaks, but people like Adriana or my parents or whoever, get that We the Raptors book for old Lex for Christmas. That's an easy Christmas gift. If y'all really want to get me something, that book is one that I need to get, is Eric Smith's We the Raptors book. I need that for Christmas. Whoever's my Santa out there. You know what I'm saying? Jamal McGlure had a very successful turkey giveaway this weekend. Of course, he does this every year. And he was out there with Toronto Revelers and the Jamal McGlure Foundation. And he gets help from 41 Division and the police and different people come out and they give out turkey dinners to people that need them over Thanksgiving weekend. So another very successful job by Jamal McGlure Foundation. Love that. Chris Boucher has posted on his Instagram. Apparently, this is news from the Celtics. The Celtics coaches played the Celtics press in a scrimmage just for fun. And boy, this is how Chris has described it. Boots to asses is how Chris Boucher is describing it. Joe Mazzulla and his coaches took those press people in Boston to the woodshed. Let's just put it that way. The score on the board there says 57-4. I kind of like to see this with the Raptors. Raptors assistant coaches play Blake Murphy and William Liu and all them. Please, Samson Folk. That'd be funny. Y'all would probably get a similar score with Mike Batiste on your team. You probably get a similar score, especially with that bulldozer out there. That's right. All right, Chris is going to do a prayer for us real quick, guys. All right, we're going to do a prayer real quick. Strong prayer. Lord, I am not perfect. I forget to pray. I fail to give thanks. I love my temper. Yes, you are in it all and still bless me with, yet still you are all in it all and still bless me with new beginnings. Thank you for granting me another day. Please forgive my mistakes and calm my mind. Keep me safe today and fill my heart with peace. May this day bring me new joy and opportunities. God, I love you. If God has been good to you, amen. And in this prayer, say this prayer with others. Amen. Amen. All right. Yeah, I said that with Chris, a strong prayer. And of course, we're going to see him tonight. He's going to play his former team once again tonight. And well, he's still putting a lot of love towards us, guys. He posted a picture of the welcome back to Toronto that he got last week when he came back. He's also got Chadwick, who passed away, sadly, Black Panther, talking about how God has a plan for all of us and that we need to listen and do it. Yeah, I like that. Lindsey Dunn was out on the baseball field in Seattle, and she's saying, hello from Seattle. I've been up for 48 hours, and I accidentally just said shart on TV instead of start. That's just authentic realness right there, Lindsay. And she's going to sleep now because she's tired. And she got the perfect room temperature in her room, 79 degrees. That's what you put your room at? That's hot. She's putting the air temperature at 79. I thought I was high with 75, but she's got it at 79. That's crazy. That's pretty high. Hey, Coach Andrew Jones has posted that the 905 have single game tickets available now for their season. So if you want to go to 905, single game tickets are on sale now. That's right. There's Andrew Jones's son out on the hockey rink. He's playing hockey. Coach Jones's son plays hockey. Coach Wade's son plays soccer. And Coach Jones's daughter plays basketball. And Ava be hooping. And in fact, Ava got a gear from Daddy when he went to Banff. She's got a nice new blue Banff hoodie that she's sporting now from the Raptors' recent trip out west for training camp in Calgary. So that's cool. I like that. Let's see. What else we got? Raptors official admin came out with a post yesterday. And it's kind of funny because we're talking about this on the show. Sometimes I feel like I might inspire Raptors admin for content. They're like, man, I can't think of what to do today. Go watch Raptors Freak. He may inspire you. I think because we were talking about how long the shot that Morris Peterson hit, the crazy Hail Mary shot that beat the Wizards at one time, it was 31 feet. That was one of the trivia questions yesterday. Well, the Raptors came out with a video later that afternoon of all the longest shots in Raptors history ever made. So go check that out. There's a clip up on YouTube. Check it out. The coaches' open house is tomorrow. It's too late to sign up, guys. I think they wanted you to sign up 2 days ago because this thing's going to be on Friday, and they got to know who's coming. So maybe you can still sign up, maybe not. I think they were saying that the last day to sign up was yesterday. So you're going, and have fun. If you're not, you're not. That's just how it is. Let's see. Toronto Tempo has got this lady. She's going to the bells and whistles to watch the WNBA finals with the Toronto Tempo. And yeah, they're just showing the watch party. There's a lot of people there, and they were enjoying good food and enjoying the basketball game, the WNBA finals that just wrapped up. Of course, now that the finals are over in the WNBA, we're in the offseason, and it's officially get to work, Teresa Resch and Monica Wright-Rogers, because it is time to get this team built. This is a franchise that's just starting. We need to get a coach next. We need to get you jerseys. Get your jerseys. We need to get a team. We got to get that expansion draft around December. The Toronto Tempo will have players when we do an expansion draft near Christmas. That's the schedule, guys. Jamal Shed has got a picture of, who is that? It's Manor Athletics, D1 Princely, Life be lifting. That's cool. And this is the Shed Boys are at the somewhere. Who are these guys? No, it's Princely still. I don't know. I guess it's a guy who wants to wish him a happy birthday or something. There's Guyton and somebody. This is a football game. This looks like this is a Carolina Panthers football game. And also, Jamal Shed is celebrating LJ Cryer of the Golden State Warriors, who's averaging 8.3 points per game in just 10 minutes for the Warriors in preseason right now. Let's see. Serge Ibaka, where are you in the world right now? He's taking a selfie in a dressing room, and he's got a nice red hat on. He's just being an original man and doing his life. He's also been working out in Miami, I guess, because it's showing a highlight of him putting a layup at University of Miami. So where in the world is Serge Ibaka? Well, he was at University of Miami. That's a telltale sign right there. Let's see. Colin Murray Boyles has got a picture of a guy dunking. Who is that? Cohen Carr? I don't know who that is. See, that's the thing. I don't know who these players are half the time. Wubbs, Jacoby Walter has got some friends that came to the game in Washington, and he's got pictures of them with them. Pretty cool. Her name's Kira. And it looks like she had the Jacoby jersey on. And that's a special memory. They came and saw, and Jacoby, of course, came out after the game and took pictures with them after the game. Okay. DeMar DeRozan, for some reason today, has posted Master P. He's got Master P on his. Of course, we know Percy and Romeo are friends of his for a long, long time. But yeah, Master P is up on DeMar DeRozan's Instagram, and I'm not totally sure why. Why are the No Limit soldiers there? Savannah Hamilton had a great birthday. It looks like she got a bouquet of flowers, and things are just good. Happy birthday, Savannah. You guys, I went and looked, and I don't want to totally bust her chops, but Savannah turned 30 this week, guys. That's kind of amazing. She does not look 30. Savannah, you look like you're still like 22, honestly. But Savannah Hamilton turned 30 just a couple days ago. That's kind of crazy, y'all. It's kind of crazy. There was another birthday. Somebody else had their birthday too. Savannah's friends. Who is this? Her twin, of course. Her twin, Oceana. It was her birthday also. Of course. Duh. Anyway, there's your Instagram stories. Yeah. All right, man. I missed on Savannah's birthday yesterday. I should have caught it. Actually, it was Monday. I missed it. Her birthday was Monday. All right, let's keep going. Seymour saying Common is the third string at Phoenix. Mark Williams and Nick Richards are ahead of him on the depth chart. Yeah, that'll probably happen. He'll probably be buried, and the guys that are more steady will get in there more often. I'm sure this is what will happen. You're probably right. Probably right. All right, I lost my place. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, here, Kaz. Kaz is saying Mark Williams is made of glass, so we'll see how long Common stays third string. I could see him becoming backup due to injuries. He's going to play. I mean, the opportunities in Phoenix are going to be like the opportunities in Charlotte. It's a similar team. In fact, I would say Phoenix Suns are the Charlotte Hornets of the West right now. That's what I would say. That's what I would say right now. Kaloy saying, rest in peace, D'Angelo, gone too soon. Yeah, this is really sad. D'Angelo was only 51, guys. And, he's put out music in the last couple of years. There was a song he did when I was doing the video project, and it just blew me away. He's singing in the desert, and he just still had his voice, and like it was just like a really powerful song. And this one's kind of gone on the radar in some ways, but a lot of people that know in the music industry are really reeling from D'Angelo passing this week. And so rest in peace, man. My sincerest condolences to the family and friends and fans of D'Angelo. This is just sudden and tragic. He's way too young, way too young. Yeah. Seymour saying at Shaq, what was talking trades? What the fuck are you talking about? I think that it's just I don't think it's anything directed at you, Seymour. I think it's just in general. There's a lot of Raptors fans that want to talk about trades right now. It's not the time. It's not the time to do it. Please, if y'all gonna read my comments, read it right. Please don't jump to your own conclusions. Stop. Yeah, it's all good, Sheriff. And I'm trying not to misrepresent you as the person on the show. And I don't think that person. I don't think Shaq had anything ill intentions about saying that. I think he just wanted to make a point, and it wasn't necessarily directed at you directly. I think that's what it was. I think he just wanted to make a point, and it's just because maybe your comment was where he was touching off from that he thinks he's directing at you. But I think he's just saying in general is what he's trying to say. Let's see, and he's saying 100%. I can see that. Kaz is saying at Seymour, standing on business. Yeah, I mean, Seymour's living in Alberta. He's got to be vigilant. Let's just put it that way. He's got to be vigilant. Just put it that way. Seymour saying, all I said was let's leave Chucky to develop. I ain't said nothing about moving anyone. Well, once again, it's an inferment. And like I explained it. It's like, people will look at Chucky doing well and they'll think, well, we got Shed too. Is like, do we really need to have the high priced Emmanuel? This is the logic that people are going to logically start to try and think. And what I was saying is we need to allow Emmanuel to hit on his own timeline and make that next leap, because then the contract will look really good. And even if we don't keep him for ourselves, we'll do better with the trade. So it's like it matters. Timing matters on this. I don't think we should trade Emmanuel. I think if he gets really good, I'd like to continue to get the skills that he does. But Bobby Webster may see it differently, and he may be like, you know what, we can do this in this area, and in some ways with this money freed up, and Shed's the starting point guard in like the next 2 years. That's the thing. This transition is probably naturally going to happen in some ways, but at what pace and when? And I'd like to keep Emmanuel here for a long time because he's best friends with RJ, and I do really feel like he's about to bust out. And I don't want to see that bust out somewhere else. That's what I'm saying right there. So I'm saying he needs a coffee. See, that's part of it. He's ornery. He has not gotten his coffee yet. It's just part of it. That's all good. Milbester's just saying, sad D'Angelo passed away. I saw the news on Fox 5 New York last night on the news. His music R&B career took off in the 90s when I was born in 94. I listened to his songs a bit growing up. Condolences to his family. Yeah, he's a great artist, man. Really, really good talent. Amazing voice. Just a real feel to him. And in some ways, he wasn't like a overly supported or promoted artist. It's just his talent was so good that he got to where he did. He could have been even more a bigger star. But in some ways, he's exactly who he was supposed to be. And too soon, man. It's crazy. It's too soon. Kaloy saying, what we know is that we found another gem in the rough with Chucky. Get that man into the Fred VanVleet pathway. Well, he's undrafted and he's on the Raptors. So he's got a good start. He's got a good start already. Kaloy saying, yeah, D'Angelo was musical genius. Many babies were made from his music. Yeah, I guess I don't know what the power rankings on that one is. I know that Barry White's up there. Barry White's up there. D'Angelo's probably up there too. He's probably top 5 with Barry White. Yeah, that's probably true. It's really true. Seymour saying, Milbester, the ghost, they probably made you to that man's music legend. Seymour's funny. All right, I'm going to give him a dunk. He's saying that Milbester was made to the music of D'Angelo. I'm sure Milbester's not hating on that. Seriously, he's probably like, man, that's awesome. He's probably like, that's pretty cool. Maybe don't ask your family. Don't ask your family whether that's true or not. Don't ask them. Hey, Dad, did you guys? No, don't ask that. Okay, Milbester, don't ask that. That's not the right question to go ask your parents. Seriously. Seymour's saying Amon was point and KD was the 2. Yeah, Jabari was the 3. Alperen was the 4 and Adams was the 5. It worked. No, I wouldn't say that. Alperen's a smaller player than Jabari in this. I would put Alperen at the 3. And Jabari is just a straight up power forward. In some ways, it's hard for me to see Jabari. I mean, I guess it's all how you want to look at it. If I'm slotting them, I'm putting Sengun lower down. In fact, you could even flip it and say this. Sengun is the point guard. Thompson's the shooting guard. Durant's the small forward. Jabari's the 4, and Steven Adams is the 5. You could do it that way too. Why not? If Scotty could be a point guard, why can't Sengun? Sengun is like that. He could be maybe at all 5 positions to a degree. I guess the ball handling probably won't let him be the point guard though. Not gonna say an Amin Thompson or if you see you can trade for like Austin Reeves or Derek White. What is this? I don't understand this. Amin Thompson or you see if you can trade like Austin Reeves or Derek White. I don't understand this comment, Gerald. Either way. Thank you to Kareem from Fiercey. Smooth saying have to win tonight, otherwise it's probably a wrap for the Blue Jays. I was about to say, you're talking about the Raptors? There's no way this is a wrap. This is preseason. Let's go Jays. That's right. Kareem saying, Milbester, I appreciate that you're here, but aren't you supposed to be in Cancun? The Yankees lose. Man, all right. He did that. So, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Milbester's been a good sport. So I'm going to give Kareem a dunk for his funny joke because he's asking, why aren't you in Cancun? And I'm also going to give Milbester a dunk for being a good sport and being here, even though people are saying stuff like that to him. That's not right in some ways. All right, 102 for Milbester on the dunk charts. 102. That's right. Seymour's laughing about it. Infamous saying, a huge part of the problem is how we think about basketball. Most fans have been conditioned to think that if someone's not putting up huge numbers scoring-wise, they're not productive. Defense is not celebrated. Yes, he's exactly right. Watch both ends of the floor and understand Raptors fans. Once again, Scotty Barnes, the type of player that we want him to be and that will be the most effective for us to get more Larry O'Brien's, is a Tim Duncan type, Bill Russell type, Ben Wallace type player. Those 3 players and their success in winning championships is the kind of energy we want to mimic Scott. Scott needs to mimic Duncan, Wallace, and Russell. Bill Russell is considered one of the greatest players in the NBA's history, but he gets forgotten about. The man won the most championships out of anybody. I think that man had more rings than his fingers. And nobody ever talks about that because he didn't score a lot. But he was absolutely the heart of the Celtics championships in the 60s. And that's what I'm saying. Scott is that kind of middle player, franchise player on our team, that he is going to do stuff like Russell would do to help the Celtics win way back. He's going to do what Ben Wallace did to help Chauncey and Rasheed Wallace and Tyshawn Prince win a championship. He's going to do what Tim Duncan did over the Spurs dynasty with Popovich and stuff. And people say, well, you're crazy. He's not like that. No, he is. If you really pay attention on team defense, the way he's bodying up, the way he's going for rebounds, the way he's blocking shots, in some ways, this is the stuff we need him to do, is following the lines of those 3 names I just named. Because those guys are bona fide winning players that won championships. And that's really what we're doing here, right? We wasting our time. Do we just want to get another James Harden? NBA fans, you just want another James Harden? Was James Harden ever fucking won shit? So what does it matter if you score 30 points and you don't win? Who gives a shit about that? We want to win. And Scotty's way of playing is winning style ball. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it. And you're going to realize that the Raptors freak and the Raptors freaks were all right when we're saying this. Infamous is exactly right, man. Exactly right. Milbester's saying, but yeah, Lex, Bieber needs a good game today. He needs to pitch like Shane Bieber of Cleveland Guardians before his Tommy John surgery. He was good with Cleveland prior, still in recovery. Well, we'll just have to see. He needs to play like, baby, baby, baby. Ah! He needs to have a hit. Just like he needs to, not a hit. I shouldn't say that. He's a pitcher. He needs to be a smashing success. No, wait, that's not good either. He needs to be a sublime success, just like his namesake, Justin Bieber. That's right. He needs to be Justin Bieber to music, Shane Bieber to pitching. We need that kind of excellence right now. That's right. That's right. Yankees got to him in game 3. That's right. Nah, Kareem, I'm supposed to be in Dominican. That's right. See, he's not going to Cancun. He'd go to Dominican if he's going somewhere like that for that. He's going back to the homeland. That's right. He's going back to see, how things are going there with the ants, the old aunties and different people he may know there. That's right. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying we're talking about preseason. There's nothing wrong with assessing the talent on the floor right now because that's all you're seeing. I'm not saying Chucky's ready for the NBA season, but I do think his future is bright. I think you're exactly right. And like I said, he's on and up right now. Let's see what he looks like with a down. And let's see where he reacts to that and how long it takes for him to get out of a funk. If he is in a funk all of a sudden, because he's been really solid at both summer league and preseason so far. Yeah. Yeah. Kaz saying, my team is very high risk, high reward. I feel you, Lex. MPJ and Jalen Green, I would not pick in that 9 category league. Yeah. You even went over that in the draft. You were saying there's some guys I'm picking because of the settings, and I wouldn't normally pick them in a different kind of fantasy league. I remember you saying that. Yeah, you know what? There is probably a lot of high risk, high reward. I can feel you on that. I have Kawhi Leonard on my team. I can feel you on that. That's probably one of the biggest high risk, high rewards in this whole entire fantasy league is Kawhi Leonard. So, yeah, I get that. I get that for sure. He's saying, I can see a lot of people being skeptical of my team, including me. A lot of question marks surrounding my players. Yeah, we'll just see how it performs. And, of course, it's not set in stone. You're going to be making adjustments throughout the season, and it's going to morph and change. And I'm sure you'll improve your team partly through the moves you make also. So we'll have to see. Shaq Lindsay saying, what makes it even better is that he's under our development, just like Fred. Yeah, we got to him. And Chucky said this. He said this in the open gym. He said, I'm so happy I'm on the Raptors. I'm on a team that has a proven record with people like Fred VanVleet. And I know I'm in the right place to get somewhere in the NBA. If I have a chance to make the NBA, the Raptors are going to be a very good spot for sure to hopefully get me there. And I think you're exactly right. Let's see. What's the shard? What's a shard? A shard is all right. I know I do these sometimes. Like, what is a shard? Is a in between of a fart and a shit. So you figure it out, Black Hawk. So it's basically like you think you're gonna fart, but something comes out. That's a shart. That's a shart. So she said the game shart time is 8:08. She said the game shart time is 8:08. Shart instead of start. Yeah. Trevor's saying Ace Bailey currently dealing with tendonitis in both his knees. Okay. He's not dealing with that agent anymore, which is good. Kareem saying, Milbester, Dominican Republic is a great vacation spot. I heard they teach how to play baseball on most resorts there. Maybe the Yankees are doing that as an excursion. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, you're trying to give these legs to this joke. You made the joke already. Don't keep rubbing it in on Milbester. He's being a good sport. Be a good sport. Kaloy saying I made it made me shed a tear yesterday when I found out about D'Angelo. Yeah, I was sad about it, man. These passings of people. Diane Keaton died recently. It's sad. Dr. Jane Goodall really hit me hard. Like that one really hit me hard. That one, because she is such a conservationist and just a really good person for humanity as far as connecting us to the natural world. And in some ways, we need to look at her as like the kind of leader and like philosopher of what she believed about our interaction and our place in the world with nature and get more right with that. Seriously. But it's been tough, man. We've lost so many different people. And this is just the nature of things. You have so many famous people now, not just from TV and movies like it used to be, or music or athletes. There's now social media famous people. There's famous people from reality shows. It's just crazy. It's going to be like always going to be celebrity passings. It's just going to be a common thing because there's just way more people that are famous now because you just have way different kinds of media in different places. But when a real talent like D'Angelo passes, well, you feel that. You feel that. You feel that. That's for sure, man. You feel that. Kareem saying, I really hope that the Mobo pick doesn't bite us in the ass for a few years from now. I kind of wanted Filipowski. But again, dating your babysitter is kind of a weird flex. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And thank you for the cutoff, Trevor. Yeah, I'm not going to second guess that pick ever. Some people there are some Raptors fans that get pissed and say we shouldn't have picked Jonathan. We should have picked Kyle. But I still don't agree with that. I think that Kyle Filipowski needed to be in Utah because he's a Mormon. And that is exactly where he should have been. And well, Jonathan did kind of need to be here partly because of Scotty. So I have no second guessing on Jonathan Mobo at the first ever pick on the second day of a draft in NBA history. And that pick that we did, I have no problem with that pick at all. No problem with that pick. And I'm not second guessing this shit. Kyle Filipowski may look really good now, but in some ways, I don't care. We picked the guy we should have picked. And I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that. That's right. That's right. Kaloy saying I had the same reaction when Chris Cornell died. Chris Cornell of Soundgarden. Yeah, man. Yeah. Spoon Man. He's hard to sing, man. I will sing Soundgarden or Audio Slave at karaoke sometimes. And singing Chris Cornell is very hard. It's very, very hard. He's one of the hardest to do, but I do it. I'm crazy. I'll get up there and sing Outshine. I'll sing Black Hole Sun. You know, sometimes that's actually an easier Soundgarden song to sing. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Yeah, he's tough to sing, like Freddie Mercury, like Steve Perry, like Axl Rose, like Robert Plant. You know, there's some tough ones to sing, but Lex is crazy, and he ain't scared of singing nobody. And it doesn't matter how high they go with the falsetto Bono. This motherfucker will try it. It doesn't always work. Don't stop believing. And you're singing, Lex. That's the song that every karaoke host hates is Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Because it's very rarely done correctly. And it usually just sounds bad. Let's just put it that way. I can pull it off somewhat. It's really hard, though. Some of those high notes at the end from Steve Perry are really hard. Especially the ones where he goes, oh, yeah, woo! You got to be warmed up to tackle "Don't Stop Believing" correctly. Sure, a pack of girls will sing it and they'll just say, "Don't stop believing." They don't try and sing it correctly. They're singing it as a pack, and they're just kind of they don't sing right. You know that. That's right. Cream saying when D'Angelo was behind the piano in his concerts was such amazing vibe. A real musician, a great musical talent. A dude like Flavor Flav, Flavor Flav plays like 8 instruments. It's not like Flavor Flav's just a guy jumping around with the clock. That man can play the piano. He can play this. He can play the guitar. He can play the bass. He can play the drums. Just like Prince. D'Angelo, same thing. A musician. He could play a lot of stuff, and he was a very good voice too. Very, very good voice. Smooth saying it's the Blue Jays, man, not the Raptors. Yeah, I knew that. I'm on Raptors mode. I know you guys are in Blue Jays mode, but in some ways, it's in the back of my head what's going on with the Blue Jays. It's very much Raptors preseason for me for the most part right now. So let's see. Okay, I jumped ahead. Let's make sure I get to the right spot. Oh, I'm near the end anyway. Okay, let's see. It was smooth. I just read. Trevor saying, Raptors fans, stop counting your chickens before they hatch. IQ's one bad season is not his fault because of injury from a player. Now you guys want to throw him under the bus. Yeah, I've seen people do this in social media, and it's not fair, and don't do it. And Trevor's exactly right. He had an injury year last year. And in some ways, I wish he had not been injured so he could show y'all sooner. That's right. Chloe saying, exactly. Preach, Lex, preach. Scotty does all the dirty work, pass first, and always in shape. Exactly. He's going to take the muscle. He's going to go get stuff. And in some ways, that's absolutely necessary for an NBA team to win. And in some ways, Scotty is sacrificing his stats and his body to help the Raptors win, guys. And that is something that is thankless, and we need to thank him for it. That's right. Trevor's saying, everything you do is time. In time, God creates the world in 6 days. Interesting. Everything you do is time. God created the world in 6 days. Kareem Thomas is saying, personally, I just want to see a more aggressive Scotty. It's not about points for me. No settle Scotty tonight. But what does that look like, though? Like, what does it look like? Is it just he's getting aggressive by attacking the basket offensively? I mean, what does it look like? That's the thing. You're not getting what I'm trying to say. Once again, I'll say this. Don't perceive anything. Don't label anything. It's like I said before, it's like if there's an apple on the counter, you can call it an apple, but it's just an organism. It's a fruit that grew. It's just an object. And we call it the apple. We label it. Why do we have to label Scott with anything? Why do you have to say, "Oh, no, he's gotta be more aggressive with his game"? I don't think he's not being aggressive. It's just that once again, I say temper expectations and just don't even have them. Let's just be pleasantly surprised at whatever Scott displays for us tonight and come in with a blank slate and just kind of like that's the problem right now is too many people are saying, I expect Scotty to do this. Scotty has to do this or I'm not happy. Oh, if Scotty doesn't do this, he doesn't get to this amount of points. If Scotty doesn't play post game, if Scotty doesn't play point guard and pass the ball around, I'm not happy. Why do we got to do this? Why don't we just let one of the most versatile players in the NBA be the amorphous blob that he can be in any game and just let him be himself? I think that that's the thing I want the most from Raptors fans when it comes to Barnes right now. Is just let him be an amorphous blob of production on the court, and that production will manifest in whatever way it's going to. And more often than not, it looks like it's going to be double doubles with rebounds and points, maybe, or maybe shot blocking and steals. We'll just have to see, man. We'll have to see. Smooth saying, I'm grateful that the Blue Jays made it this far. No one could have predicted this. Yeah, you know what? Listen, if they don't get past the Mariners, at least we have the successful winning of a playoff series against the Yankees. And that's a victory right there. There's only one winner in every sport every year, but you can still have a successful year. I would say the Pacers had a very successful year last year, considering what they accomplished and where they got to and how happy Siakam seems these days. So I would say, look, Blue Jays, don't hang your head if things go wrong tonight, and hopefully they go very right and you guys win. You guys have accomplished so much, and this has been a fantastic season no matter what already. That's what I say right there. That's right. Cream saying, laugh out loud. Bro, we talking about sharding, the worst surprise ever known to human beings. Such an uncomfortable feeling, especially in public places. Yeah, this is the worst. It's the worst. I mean, I'm not going to lie, y'all. This may be TMI. There was a time when I worked at the Air Canada Center. And I was at the sub stand. Yeah, I was with Stevie Roots, and I'm making subs, and it's busy. And I kind of sharded once. It wasn't a lot. Maybe they called them Hershey squirts. And yeah, I had to work the whole shift kind of like that. People were like, what's the smell and stuff like that? You know, it's like I try to clean it up, but you know, there's only so much you can do while you're on your shift and you can't leave work, right? So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have told that story. That was a long time ago. That was like 25 years ago. Statute of limitations on that one. That's right. Maybe you shouldn't have told that story. That's right. So we're saying this could be a springboard to legit World Series contender next year. That's the other thing. It's like, look, every year you're building, it's an escalator to the top. And you want to make sure your position on the escalator for next year, the step you're on, is closer to the top and getting to that championship. So you're building. And that's why even this year for the Raptors, don't expect them going all the way. But if we get playoff taste, we get past the first round, you know, we want to improve on that for next year and use it as a stepping stone, just like what Smooth's saying here. This would be very good for the Blue Jays next year to build off of, for sure. For sure. And Vladdy being locked down for so long, this is really good. Really, really good. Chloe saying, hey, Lex, did you know that the current singer at Journey was found on YouTube and he is from the Philippines? This is really cool. You know, old bands that have done this, like NXS. Think about NXS. NXS, Michael Hutchence died in a self-asphyxiation, weird sex tragedy. And they didn't have their singer all of a sudden, but NXS wanted to still tour. So they did like a TV show, Rockstar NXS. And they found a guy to be the new singer for them. And, you know, they did a similar thing with Journey. They did a worldwide search and they found a Filipino guy that could sing just like Steve Perry. The crazy thing is Steve Perry's still around and he could still sing. It's just he had fallen out. And he didn't want to work with Journey anymore. There have been some overtures that Steve Perry might return to Journey, though. That I've been hearing that recently. But yeah, this guy, in some ways, they find people that can actually do exactly what that person does. Like Queen. Queen didn't have Freddie Mercury anymore, right? Well, they got Adam Lambert from American Idol. They saw him on American Idol do a Queen song. They're like, wow, he could sing that pretty good. And then they started touring with them. It's kind of these dreams come true. You know, somebody could be all of a sudden like there's this young woman who's going to be playing drums for Rush now. And that's amazing to me. You can't replace Neil Peart. It's amazing. You can't. He's just like that. But this young lady's going to try. And hopefully she does very well and she's successful. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I had heard that the singer of Journey was a guy from Philippines. I had heard about that. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Wayne saying, good segue for the channel tilting towards music. Anyways, you guys are too young to know the top two baby creators as singers were Teddy Pendergrass and Barry White. Yeah, yeah. You could probably put some Al Green in there too. You probably put some Al Green in there. And let's not forget about Luther. Luther was probably one of them ones too. That, oh my love. Yeah, Luther Vandross was getting some babies made too. That's right. Blackhawk saying Jacob sighting tonight. Jacob. Milbester saying, oh, Scotty Barnes doesn't play like Sky Pippen, so have him marry Larsa Pippen, or he will be traded to the Spurs with Wemby. This is such a weird comment from Milbester. It's not WBC or baseball. He's making a joke about Scotty Barnes in some ways. I think it's kind of funny though when he's saying that. Hershey squirt, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. I have another story about this. Maybe I shouldn't tell it. They should be telling these shark stories, man. They're messed up. This one wasn't a real one, though. It had to do with the Hershey squirt, though. It's weird. So I used to work for DHL in Florida, which is the parcel service, like UPS. And I had a route in South Florida. I mean, in south of Tallahassee that I have to drive. And at the depot where we get our trucks and we load our trucks to go out on a route, they were giving out candy because it was around Halloween, right? And they had Hershey's Kisses. And I grabbed some in the morning to take with me to have as a snack while I was riding around. I might have told this story. Some of y'all might have heard this. I was riding around with the Hershey's Kisses and doing my route. It's Florida, so even in October, it's like 90 degrees. And, I'm riding around. And then I get back at the end of the day, and I'm unloading my truck. And I'm with the other guys who are coming in from their routes too. And there's this guy named 40. And he was from Miccosukee, Florida, and he did the route from Miccosukee too. He's just a cool guy. He was a cool guy. He's like, yo, white boy. Because he called me that. He's like, what's going on there, man? What's going on there? What'd you do? And he's like pointing at my ass. I was like, did you poop your pants or something like that? I'm like, oh shit, what happened? I'm like, what is fucking going on? And 40's like laughing at me. This motherfucker pooped his pants. He's like laughing. He's rolling on the ground laughing. This motherfucker's pooped his pants. It was that I sat on one of the Hershey's Kisses and it melted underneath my butt while I was driving all day, and it was stuck to my ass without the wrapper. But 40 thought I had sharded a Hershey squirt, but it was actually a Hershey Kiss, and it just was the outside. I didn't do that, so it was like a fake out. But it was hilarious at that time. I don't know. Maybe these stories aren't appropriate for this channel. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. But 40 got a good laugh out of that. That's for sure. He did. I don't know, man. The jukebox of my mind and what it brings out. I mean, seriously, what the fuck, Lex? Seymour saying, no, Bo Bichette, and we're doing well. The future's bright. Yeah, I was surprised they left him off the roster for this series. There's a lot of speculation that Bichette would be ready to come back for Seattle, but he was not. He was not. Trevor saying, to all the people who want Scotty to do what they want him to do, is y'all's pocket hurting from all the money he's getting? I agree. Milbester saying Santander having a rough first year in Toronto, Seymour. He was with the Orioles last season, and when they were all right, this is too much in the weeds. I can't do this. Let's see. I really want to see Jays and Dodgers. I would love to see that series too. Trevor's really got a strong cutoff now. I appreciate it. I like the little arrow. And then Reggie's saying, if Seattle advances and plays the Dodgers, LA in 4, the Mariners will be in a happy to be there mode. I can see that. That could be a problem for them. All right, let's do Raptors Reddit reactions real quick. The guy finished his Raptors coffee table finally. Thank you. Looks awesome, man. He's got the original logo on there. I don't know if it's totally centered, my dude, but that's a nice table, man. Good job, man. Good job. Somebody's talking about the increased three-point shooting of the Raptors in preseason. That's not a symptom of just us. That's around the whole league. Everybody's increased their three-point shooting to a degree. We shoot better. We'll shoot more of them. In some ways, we haven't shot well at 3 for a couple years now. If we start shooting better this year because Brandon's around, IQ starts taking a bigger chunk of them, then, well, we're going to definitely increase our threes this year. Definitely. Somebody's asking, what does the depth chart look like ahead of the regular season for the Raptors? And I think that they've got a link to SI or something like that, where they think that we are. Oh, it's the new guy. The new guy instead of Aaron Rose, his name is Jeremy Brenner, I guess. And he's asking, who is it? And well, he's got the point guards is Quickly, Shed, Hepburn, and Martin. And then he's got shooting guard, RJ Barrett, Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter, AJ Lawson. That sounds right. Small forward, Brandon Ingram, Oshai Abaji, Garrett Temple. Power forward, Scotty Barnes, Colin Murray Boyles, Jamison Battle. Center, Jakob Pertl, Sandro Mamu, Jonathan Mobo, and Ulrich Shamshe. You know what? This is accurate. This guy has the depth chart right. This Sports Illustrated guy, it looks exactly right. So, yeah, I won't react to that in a bad way. He's putting out truth, which is good. Apparently, Cole Schweider had a breakout game in EuroLeague yesterday, and he just went crazy. And this guy's saying he finished up last year with the Raptors, got his first real action in EuroLeague tonight, and he looked really efficient. Whatever he learned in a few weeks in Toronto has paid off well in the next stage of his career. That's interesting. Now, I will say this. Cole was on an upward trend already, and in the offseason in Summer League, he was on the Lakers Summer League team, and he was killing it. He was absolutely the best player on the Lakers Summer League this summer. So he was already trending up. I'm not surprised by this at all. You know, in some ways, he may not be an NBA player, but he's a very good shooter, and he is a good basketball player. But he may not be good enough to be in the NBA. That's just part of it right there. I see that. Smooth saying, is Sarr making the team? No, I don't see Olivier Sarr is not going to make the team. The choice, once again, is between 4 players. Everything else is set up. We have 21 guys, 18 make it, and 3 guys got to get cut. And between these 4 guys, and I'll rank them in the order I think that they're most likely to win the spot. AJ Lawson, Jared Rhoden, Olivier Sarr, and David Roddy. Those 4 guys, 3 of them will be cut. And Sarr is going to be one of the ones that get cut. Him and Roddy are for sure. It really is the decision between Jared and AJ. And in that case, I say go Canadian and get the kid from Brampton. In some ways, AJ's on a non-guaranteed, but it's partially guaranteed. So it makes more sense to do that. All right, let me keep going. Yes, I said it's Jakob's birthday, guys. Happy 30th birthday to Big Yak. And you know what I'm going to do in celebration of Jakob? I'm going to play Pirtle. The guessing game. You guys know about Pirtle? It's like Wordle, but it's Pirtle. Yeah, let's play Pirtle because it's Pirtle's birthday. All right, I'm going to put in Jakob Pirtle as the name first and see if I'm right. And y'all can help me. Maybe y'all will know who to put in. I may be showing my ass in this. Okay, it's not Jakob Pirtle because I can see right now that looks like Jimmy Butler's hair because I did the silhouette. All right, that is an Eastern player, though. Okay, so if that's an Eastern player, is that Quentin Grimes? He has the haircut like that. Let me just put in Quentin Grimes or something like that. That's who I think it is. All right, let me see. Let's put him in. It's an Eastern player. He's a guard, and he does wear the number 5. Okay, who's the number 5 that has the hair like Jimmy Butler from a couple years ago? Who's a 5 that has the hair like that? Man, I wish I knew better about the other teams, the league. Let's go ahead and put Dyson Daniels in. Why not? Let's just put him in. Why not? It could be him. It is him. Look at that. Lex got it in 3. Wow. Woo. Pirtle in 3 on Pirtle's birthday. 30th birthday, 3 chances. Put in Pirtle. Put in Quentin Grimes, and then put in Dyson Daniels, and then he got it. That's awesome, man. The Great Barrier Thief, the Pirtle of the day. That's right. That's awesome. Well, Best just saying, what a joke, Lex. The U.S. government 2 weeks shutdown, and my mom did identity theft report with Equifax months before the shutdown, and they fixing the rest was sending letter yesterday to clear credit reports. Man, whatever's going on with the states and the shutdown is all a manufactured crisis by the White House, and it's part of Project 2025. They've shut down the government on purpose because they want the chaos. They want the ability to fire more people. They want people to not have services. They want people to suffer. And, there's nothing the Democrats could do. And the fact that they're putting messages in airports saying it's all the Democrats' fault, that's totalitarian bullshit and propaganda. And it's completely MAGA, Trump, and Republicans' fault that the government's been shut down for 2 weeks. So make sure, Americans, you understand where the blame resides. The Democrats have no power right now. How the fuck are they causing the shutdown? They don't have the White House. They don't have the courts. They don't have the Congress at all. Where's their power to shut down the government? The whole power resides with the Republicans, and everything that happens with the U.S. government right now, you need to blame on them because the Democrats have no power right now. The Republicans have all the power, and the shit show that they're driving that country into is completely their fault. So make sure you give credit where credit's due, Americans, is what I'm going to say right now. Even if the government is telling you to blame the Democrats, that's a telltale sign right there that they're fucking at fault themselves right there. That's right. Cream Sand. I didn't know the proceeds from Giants of Africa helped revitalize basketball courts in Toronto. I hope Masai continues to do this. This is the thing. It goes to all kinds of things. It goes to so many important causes in Africa. We're talking about child soldiers. We're talking about women that are victims of rape that benefit from the money generated from Giants of Africa. They have so many subdivisions in that organization that take care of some very specific issues, like trying to encourage kids not to get involved in child soldiering in African nations, and then also giving help to women who have been subjugated to horrors and torturous kind of bullshit. So, you could be happy about a court in Canada where we're privileged and we have everything right. But the work that Masai Ujiri is doing with Giants of Africa is much deeper and more powerful for the front lines of people that are really having real struggles in their real lives over on that continent. It's nice to have a court over here. Let's not get it twisted. Giants of Africa is helping Africa in major ways. And it's also helping their economy by building a league with Basketball Africa League and getting more infrastructure there. And that's a lot of it right there. Let's see. Kareem saying the orangutan tried to make peace in the Middle East. Looks like it's going to backfire again. He's trying everything to distract from the Epstein files. Those files have got to come out. They won't swear this woman in that won this election, and she's the final vote to release the Epstein files. They've waited 2 weeks. These guys are so guilty, and they know the shit's going to hit the fan when the files come out. So they put it off so much. Yeah, the stuff that's happening in the Middle East right now, I guess it's promising in some ways. It's progress, but I don't know if it's progress in a way that's actually good for the Palestinian people. I don't think it is. Anyways, let's stop with the politics now that we're at the end of the chat, and we'll go ahead and do the classic card, and I'll get out of here at 2.5 hours. So you get an extra half hour today. All right, let's see. And, of course, game tonight against the Celtics. I'll do the keys to the victories, the plan to win the game. Who is that? Why can't I read? Man, my eyesight is really getting worse and worse. Guys, if I have to start wearing my glasses throughout the whole stream, just so you know, I might have to. Because I can't even read that. Oh, this is stupid, man. Why didn't I even know who this is? This is so dumb. All right, guys. Full name answer. And once again, this is weird shit. Because I did kind of mention this guy just a second ago. It's very weird shit. All right, here you go. Why didn't I not know who this was just by looking at the card? Why did I have to read the name? Seriously, this is so easy. Come on, guys. You know who that is. James Harden. That's right. Chucker Kaz is on there first, ahead of Kareem and Fiercey. Yeah, it's James Harden. And I just said, does James Harden ever won a championship? Do you want James Harden on this team? Do you just care about scoring? That's not winning basketball. And James Harden is not ever won. So it's like, okay. James Harden's a classic card, and Kaz got it. That's really weird when that happens. I guess I mentioned a lot of players during the show, but it's weird when somebody that I did mention just a little second ago, maybe I have foresight and I knew he's coming, and I knew ahead of time, and that's why I did it. Kaz, and on there 2 out of the last 3 days, but that's a 50-point card. It's too easy, the beard. It's too easy. All right, let's get out of here. Keys to the victory is to win the game. Well, once again, Raptors, I feel like the Celtics are deceivingly got a little bit of size with their young players, but they're inexperienced. And Garza and, people like that aren't going to be totally the best frontline players. So I still feel like the Raptors, if they have the right personnel in the lineup tonight, they need to go to the post. And if it's Scotty, that's great. If it's not Scotty, I won't get upset. If Jakob returns tonight on his birthday and he starts operating the paint and bullying the Celtics tonight, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. If Sandro Mamu wants to do some bullying, Jonathan Bobo wants to do some bullying, hell, Arish Shamshe wants to get healthy and get in the game tonight and bully the Celtics down low, that's a key to the victory. So I don't think getting in a shootout with the Celtics at 3 is ever a good idea, but there is a possibility we could beat them at the 3-point shot if Brandon and IQ are hitting their shots, and we can outscore them at the 3. So there's a couple of different ways to get to the win. It depends on who's available for us and who's available for them. Are we dealing with Jaylen Brown or not? And that will tell us a lot on the ability to, whether we're going to win or not. I think that the Celtics are not going to want to lose both games to the Raptors in the preseason. And Coach Joe, being a competitor, is going to be coming out at a home game in Boston to try and beat our ass. So we need to not let them happen and just go beat their ass instead. So, yeah, we love Chris. We want to see Chris Boucher play again. And, Raptors just play hard, play well. The referees aren't bad. Zach Zarba, Nate Green, and Evan Scott are fair refs. And we should see a fairly good referee game. And as I said, the injuries are a big mystery right now. We don't know exactly who the Raptors may hold out. And the same for the Celtics. It could very well be Jaylen Brown doesn't play against the Raptors at all in preseason. But I think it's likely he does play tonight, if you're asking me. And I think Brandon's likely to play tonight too, guys, is what I'm saying right there. So, yeah, another buzzer beater today. I don't know. If we do it, that'd be 3 in a row. And too bad they don't count because they're preseason. That'd be cool, though, if we did get another one. All right, I'm pretty sure I got through all my tabs. I appreciate everybody watching me today. Preview for the Raptors versus the Celtics tonight in Boston. Let's go, Blue Jays. You got to really beat Seattle tonight. Come on, Shane Bieber. Have good stuff and get that ball past the batters of the Mariners. And, just wake up, Toronto Bats, and get a bunch of runs for Toronto tonight. And let's get a win in this series. That's right. Blue Jays, you win. Raptors, you win. And let's have a great evening. I'll see you guys later. If you're around the Discord server, I should be around there to talk to during the game. If you want to interact with me, whether through chat or voice, if you come in and you get in the voice channel, I will get in there and talk to you. If you want to talk straight up or talk through chat, either one's an option. And of course, tomorrow we'll do the reaction to the game tonight. And after the game on Discord, we do a box score kind of look over after the game. And I try and figure out my players of the game live on the Discord. And you can help me decide if you want to come in and do that after the game. I'll be doing that too. Yeah. So, yeah, peace out, James. And thank you, Isaac, for the starting lineup of Lex. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Blue Jays. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Peace is the answer. Peace and love and happiness and togetherness and community and looking out for each other. Let's go, Raptors.